Back when I was a kid, life was going swell. Till something happened. Blew everything to hell. That night my daddy stumbled in, all pale and weak. Said a woman up the block just gave birth to a geek. Mom said, sell it to the circus. What the heck? Dad said, nope, this one's a pencil neck. And if there's one thing lower than a sideshow freak, it's a gritty, scum-sucking pencil neck geek. You see, if you take a pencil that won't hold lead, looks like a pipe cleaner attached to a head. Add a buggy whip body with a brain that leaks, you got yourself a grit-eating pencil neck geek. Pencil neck geek, grit-eating freak, scum-sucking pea-head with a lousy physique. He's a one-man, no-gut losing streak. Nothing but a pencil neck geek. Pencil neck geek. Soon the geeks were popping up all over town. You couldn't hardly sneeze without knocking one down. After a nice juicy steak, if you need a toothpick, just reach for a geek. They'll do the trick. One day we cut one up for fish bait. Learned our lesson just a little bit late. Soon as the geek hit the drink, the water turned red. Next day, sure enough, all the fish were dead. Pencil neck geek, grit-eating freak, scum-sucking pea-head with a lousy physique. He's a one-man, no-gut losing streak. Nothing but a pencil neck geek. Most any night, you know where I can be found. Yeah, stomping some geeks head into the ground. So keep the faith, cause in Blassie you can trust. I won't give up till the last geek bites the dust. Pencil neck geek, gritty freak, scum-sucking pea-head with a lousy physique. He's a one-man, no-gut losing streak. Nothing but a pencil neck geek. They say these geeks come a dime a dozen. I'm looking for the guy who's supplying the dimes. It's gonna be real hard times for all of these grit-eating, scum-sucking, boot-licking, drop-kicking, gut-grinding, nail-biting, glue-sniffing, scab-picking, butt-scratching, egg-hatching, sleazy, smelly, pepper-bellied, dirty, lousy, rotten, stinking freaks. Nothing but a pencil neck geek. Pencil neck geek. Pencil neck geek. Pencil neck geek.
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the light.
It's time to put on makeup. It's time to dress up right. It's time to get things started.
Hey, man, is that Double D? Yeah, man. Well, turn it up, man.
Let's just go in and, kill all the orcs, right? They're the bad guys, who gives a shit? We just hack and slash and we loot their dead bodies, right? Hack and slash, kill them all, conquer the infidels.
Boy, that campaign sounds like a barrel of fun, doesn't it?
Somebody who's opening a refrigerator and leaning in, right, is the language of a woman. Somebody who's opening the refrigerator and being cut off halfway through that lean is the voice of a mermaid or a siren.
They're utter shits. They're utter shits.
This is not the face of the hobby anymore. And I think there's been mistakes made in years past where people assumed that D&D players were all, white dudes in a basement. Which has been a faulty assumption for a lot of years and gets more and more false every day. And so it's, in my viewpoint, honestly, guys like me can't leave soon enough.
I just had to be born with empathy and a weakness for socialism and femboys.
You gotta put a little hot sauce on the taco, you know what I mean?
We want this dwarf to be the dwarfiest dwarf.
Right.
We want the elf to be the elfiest elf.
and just the dashiest dash of Tabasco.
Their voices need to carry across water.
I'm a creative. It's a huge drain, right? Because fans can be off.
When we got the descriptions, they were very adamant. They were like, try not to make it like a white blonde guy. Like, please, like, we love him, but there's like 500 million of them.
You say white lives matter, they don't. White lives don't matter because white lives aren't a thing.
Lube for their rectal adventures.
Lutherville, Marina Del X, Otisburg. Otisburg? Who's this monster? She's got her own place. Otisburg? It's a little bitty place. Otisburg? Okay, I just wipe it off. That's all. It's a little town. Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Yeah. 5, 4, 3. Great! Great, Sam!
We dumping chump. It's a landslide, sir.
On guard.
It's time to mobilize. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
A giant penis.
Did you cry? So much. I went into the house and my wife was like, "What's wrong?" And I just crawled onto her and sobbed.
Oh my God.
Well, ain't the old opening better?
On with the show.
On with the show. This is it. Bum, ba, ba. Ba, ba, ba. I see Joe and left for vultures. There's no one of consequence and poor orc child too. On with the show. You know who. How y'all doing? Hope you guys are doing well. I woke up today. Mrs. D and I were going over to a movie night over at, let me straighten this a little bit. I'm not entirely happy with the angle of that camera. There we go. Mrs. D and I are going over to Zolt's tonight for a movie night. That is always fun. He has thousands of DVDs. So he always picks out usually it's a good horror movie, sometimes like a good fantasy movie, sometimes even like a Western. So that is always a good time. So we're looking forward to that. So I had the afternoon open. I forgot to put my flag. I'm a little behind. Come on, Double D. You can do it. You can do it. There we go. That flag should be coming up any time now behind me, and it's not. What are you doing, Double D? My little thingamabob back there. It's not doing what it should be doing. Why does God put these hurdles in front of yours truly? One of his finest soldiers. How about you? All right, well, I can't subject you guys to this, so momentito. If you're not going to play nice and put the lotion in the basket, Double D is going to turn you off. Halaster, good to see you. I think I saw a little gift up here from Hungar. Saturday Double D. Brought to you by Carl's Jr. Let's see, Carl's Jr. Oh, yes.
I'm a Secretary of State. Brought to you by Carl's Jr.
Why do you keep saying that?
Because they pay me every time I do.
That's right. That's right. Thank you very much, buddy. Much appreciated. As you can tell, we're over on EV Mux, the StreamYard clone today. So I woke up, have the afternoon open, and I get barraged with a bunch of notifications that Stephen Saunders has released videos. It is now like a daily thing, 3 times a day. He is making videos, just seething and mauling about me. Good to see you, OGGM. Yeah, I know you are vested in this too. So I figure we will, I don't want to completely always clutter up the Wednesday show with all like Condor content. So I figure maybe we could humorously, maybe on off days, take our time and, go through what Steven is saying about me and others. Like I said, he was kind of like Iran right now. He's just picking fights with everybody, and today is no exception. So I was kind of chuckling as I watched the first couple minutes of the video, and he called somebody out that you would have never guessed, like he would have called out, but he just does it because he can't help it. He honestly cannot help himself. The man is deluded. He's very mentally ill, but with that mental illness comes entertainment value. And quite frankly, he knows what he's doing, even though he is mentally ill. So I am going to point and laugh at him. Oh, thank you. Yes, the birthday week is drawing to an end, and when you get to be at my age, birthdays start to become a bit of an ordeal as you realize you are certainly on the back nine of life. But you guys, that's you, make life worth living. I do enjoy these streams. I enjoy seeing you guys in the chat, and let's. Like I said, let's try to have some fun. Yeah, he rarely mentions names, but whenever he says some streamers with 10K subs, we know him. Yeah, exactly. He does that because he thinks he's like playing mind games. So he can go, see, I wasn't even talking about him, but this guy's so paranoid and delusional, he thinks I was talking about him. But then he'll say, yeah, the guy with the soft voice. The guy who blah, 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 blah. It's obviously very clear who he's talking about. So, no, Steven. No, don't you pass out on me yet, you rotten little oinker. Yeah. Canadian must be overcharging for his meds. Mrs. D was on, I think, like Facebook or something, and she saw somebody reposted a lady up in Canada went into the doctor with a back trouble about a year ago. And I guess this is no lie. And from what I've heard, it's absolutely true. The doctor straight-faced asked her if euthanasia was an option, if she would consider it. Yes, the kindest healthcare system in the world. The one that liberal douchebags and fags think is the envy of the world, wanted to put this lady down like a dog for like a back condition. So the lady said, no, thank you. I'll go to another doctor, and ended up making some changes, getting some treatment. And a year later, she's fine. She's like, they literally wanted me dead. And now I'm like traveling the world and having a grand old time. Yeah, it's all in here. All in here. Crazy Mouse was talking about the beginning of the new Top Gun movie, and how there's this theory that when Tom Cruise crashes the experimental jet, that he dies, and everything that happens after that is like a like a vision, maybe like the last second of his life. Interesting. And we were actually talking about that after the game last night's, sometimes, about half the group sticks around and, we'll just watch TV and just bullshit. And I said, that reminds me of a Twilight Zone, which I actually just saw again on Pluto, called Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge, I think it is. Very good episode. I've been watching a little bit more of the Twilight Zone, catching up. I of course have seen them all, at various points in my life, but very good episode. And that's sort of what happens in that episode. Spoiler. It's all about somebody facing death, and maybe having a last minute, delusion, not delusion, but vision. Very powerful. So, there you go. Yeah, Canada killed over 16,000 people with assisted healthcare. Yeah, it's so, I mean, it's so compassionate, isn't it? Giving them a needle. And these same people would probably be against capital punishment for, you know, like raping and killing a child. Oh no, that's far too. What are you, a ghoul? Somebody comes in with lumbago though, and they're like, all right, lay down. Have you made out your last will and testament? Yes, that's something that Gavin Morgan was saying. He's like, Double D, don't you remember in 7th grade, we read that, and we actually saw that. They showed that episode of the Twilight Zone. That was actually the only Twilight Zone episode that they didn't produce themselves. I think it was made by, if I'm remembering right, it was made by a French company or French filmmaker, and they just bought it and kind of wrapped, you know, the story into a half-hour Twilight Zone episode. Yep. Shawnee for 5. Great thumbnail. Got to catch it on rewatch. Absolutely. Go out and enjoy your Saturday, guys. This is just for you guys that are bumming around. Maybe you're doing some modeling. No, not that kind of modeling. You know, not this kind of modeling.
These pictures were just for me.
Kind of like, you know, the hobby kind, painting miniatures, you know, building terrain, stuff like that. If you're doing something like that, you can just throw it on in the background. You know, or maybe you're just driving around in your car. Thank you, Shawnee. Good to see you, brother. And yes, don't forget to hit that like button. Be a little more. There we go. I knew there'd be one. Yep, painting some minis here. I've been updating my Axis and Ally game a little bit with some painted miniatures and stuff like that. Not painted like little faces. I don't actually like those kind of like Axis and Ally sets. You know, people will just go to insane lengths. At the end of the day, it is a board game. You need to see the colors, like who's over here, who's over here. But, you know, there are certain little things you can do to kind of spruce up the game, if you will. So a little bit more about last night's game, and then we'll get into the subject, which is Condor DM. Not only going after me again, but going after someone you would not expect. Yeah, we're having a good time. As I said, I'm taking a break from DMing. We're letting my buddy Zolt, who occasionally drops in on Wednesday streams, good guy, movie aficionado, as you know, but also turning out to be a really good DM. I kind of knew he would be. He has his own group, you know, which meets a couple times a month. That's actually why he can't be here on Wednesdays. That's because his group meets twice a month on Wednesdays. So on the odd days, he can come here. But we're having a real good time with that Gotham City Chronicles RPG. Very simple rules, very die 20. If you've played like 3rd edition D&D, you already probably know, you would know everything. But as in any superhero game, it's sort of less about the rules and more about the situations and the characters. It is a genre which I think lends itself a little bit more to, you know, kind of being a little loosey-goosey. You know, rather than, you know, maybe like a strict fantasy or even sci-fi RPG. Supers, you know, because you can kind of break, you know, logic and physics at times. You have to have a DM that is not overly, you know, harsh on certain things. It is more or less just kind of a go with it, you know, style DM. So we're actually having a really good time. The group that we have, like the character group, is turning out to be really good. We're getting our headquarters. We are stopping a cult. The cult of bat something. There's like a bat cult underneath Gotham. So we are trying to stop it. And my character is a cop who is on the edge, let's just say. Euthanasia in Spain occurs mainly on the plane. Yes, I learned that one in 2nd grade or something like it. So anyway, we're having a really good time with Gotham City Chronicles RPG. A lot of great figures for that game too. I got the Kickstarter. And in fact, after this stream, I'm going to go do some of that figure painting. I'm actually going to paint Batman and Batgirl. We actually met. Batman's in a coma, and but Batgirl is kind of filling in. So my character went up on the rooftop of Gotham City, snuck up there, and like switched the bat signal on real quick to see if we could get some information. I even told Zola, I'm like, look, we're not asking these guys to solve our problems for us, but maybe they have a little bit of info, you know, where there was a hole in our game. And sure enough, Batgirl shows up, you know, spills the beans. She actually spilled that Bruce, I don't know if this was Zolt maybe making a misstep or the character, you know, you don't know, but she actually said, well, Bruce is in a coma. And I said, Bruce, my guy. And she's like, Batman's in a coma. And I just gave a knowing nod and basically said, your secret is safe with me. So I made sure to tell Zolt too, that I would never reveal the identity of Batman. Yeah, Cult of the Bat. We're going to be getting to that particular cult presently. Momentito, please.
So I made a video early in the AM.
Somehow this guy's dance card is always open. I didn't have anything to do today, so if you look at his channel, he pumps out now 3 to 4 videos a day. And I think OGGM could probably verify this. He has probably said that he is going to stop talking about the old school. My God, I'm not even exaggerating here. It almost has to be in the hundreds of times. That's it. I'm done with those people. I'm not talking about them anymore. And then he just goes on these he'll literally go on a bender the next video and start talking about it. The most delusional man on the internet. And it's a shame that we are such kind of a niche area of the of YouTube, etc. Because this guy to me is like he's every bit as delusional and as interesting as someone like Stuttering John, you know, like the Dabbleverse. So this Vultureverse, I wish people, far from being protective of it and like, no, Condor's mine. He's mine. I want more people to just be exposed to the insanity, the delusional insanity of this guy. But before we do that, I mean, we got this guy. You know, I got something special for you, Czar James the First.
You know, as she likes to say, you know, lanterns are lit, so are the tits.
She's my terrifier.
Oh, yeah. Hail and good tidings to all my fellow Free Worlds League brothers and sisters. Long live House Merrick. God bless, sir. Thank you, James. Good to see you, brother. You and Hungar. The brothers are here. The party can begin. So yeah, like I said, far from being like, you know, no, I've got to be the only one that can make fun of this guy. Like I know Ryan David does. I know others have occasionally, but this is like finding like the very top of like a gold mine. Just because he produces content so frequently and is just so paranoid, delusional, but almost like funny when he does it. I'm almost glad. I was absolutely ready to bury the hatchet and say, all right, Steven, let's part as, even if we're not friends, let's part on great terms. And, you know, let's not talk about each other. As I demonstrated on Wednesday, he initially held out that olive branch and then yanked it back by, you know, he can't help himself. He had to start talking about me. So to me, that just said, okay, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. This guy is never going to change ever, ever, ever. He will be on his deathbed talking about how the old school, you know, did him wrong. Yeah, I noticed that too, Joe, that Rich, DM Bloodworth, and that's what I would have done too. I'd have looked past some of the stuff and just kind of like, okay, whatever. I'd have treated him, with kid gloves, in a spirit of nothing less than congeniality. But it really doesn't work. Oh boy. Which continent is on the wall? I think we said that was it wasn't Grand Theft Auto. I think somebody said it was Grand Theft Auto last time. Like a Grand Theft Auto map, which would be kind of crazy, but
about something very important to me. At the start of the year, I had to make a decision. Do I want to keep doing content for the old school tabletop role-playing game community on any level?
Steven, I got news for you. Every time you fire up your camera, you're making content for the old school. you may not want to admit it, you may not realize it, but that's exactly what you're doing.
Well, and after a lot of thought over the whole thing, I decided to give this community, this audience, one more full year of investment of my time.
He's doing us a favor, fam. He's going to give us a year. And then when that year's up, it's going to be like a series of 1-year contracts because this man has nothing going on in his life. Nothing. And that's sort of sad because I know he's getting up there. He's got to be getting close to 50. Last night was great. Me and Mrs. D, we had over our in-laws. We had over my son and my daughter-in-law and our beautiful granddaughter. Had a great time. Then we watched the Gannon Golden Knights basketball team going to the Division II championship game. Very exciting. Me and my in-laws, my father-in-law especially, he's a huge Gannon basketball fan. So we watched that. That was a great victory. Gannon is a school in our hometown, Erie. It's a great basketball university. So we had a great time. If you ever notice, he never talks about anything social other than like gaming. He cannot possibly be gaming as much as he says he is. I'm not saying he doesn't DM regularly. I'm not even saying he isn't a decent DM between the lines, but holy smokes. Everything else, his life is just this black pit of perceived slights by a bunch of people he could easily have peace with. If he would just say, you know what, guys, I really effed up. I'm a little off up here. I'm very off up here, I should say. And, I'm going to start to get some treatment for it. I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to turn over a new leaf. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And then just literally just start talking about 2nd edition D&D. Because when he does that, he's actually pretty good. But now he defiantly doesn't want to do that because I said that he should. That's how crazy and in his mind I am. I am living, oh my God, rent-free. Isn't like he sold me his mind. So now I am living there.
So I could walk away from the old school without any regret, period. Now, nothing I'm going to say here is meant to be an attack on anyone. So I want to be...
So whenever somebody says something in that tone or like that, just always be prepared for the but, where you can usually safely disregard everything that was said before and just concentrate on how he's going to break what he just said.
I'm probably going to mention some YouTubers, at least one for sure, and just make a point, a very powerful point, something I've been pointing out for a long time. There's one thing I noticed with the vast majority of people in the old school in the audience. They actually don't support talent or charisma. The it factor and every other part of YouTube that usually benefits a YouTuber if they have it. the vast majority of the old school tabletop role-playing game community audience online support people that throw petty hate around at people that they don't like, and they support yes men. You will notice that they're...
I mean, where do you even start? So he thinks he's this tortured artist, you know, he's like he's Hitler trying to sell his landscapes in Vienna. Like, they don't get me. I'm going to make the world pay. And of course, the problem is always, as it always is, time immemorial with Stephen. It's everybody else. It's petty people, people who can't appreciate real talent. They're all yes men. They're all sycophants. They don't see where the real talent is. The real talent is with a guy who is not a small guy. I mean, I think he's very short. Boy, I think you could probably fit, I'm going to guess, maybe 12 of him in his frame right there. Steven, what are you doing? It's easier just to clean the doorknob or repaint that door. I know you don't want us to see it. I understand. But my God, you look like you're about to receive the blindfold and the cigarette. It's like execution cam or something. Bring your camera in and frame yourself properly. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but my God, what are you doing?
People with almost no talent at all, almost no charisma, or no charisma at all to speak of, that have almost 10K subs.
All right, so you guys always have to understand, whenever he talks about somebody with almost 10K subs, he's talking about me. Sometimes he'll be like, oh, but RPG Pundit, he's another one that with almost 10K subs, but he'll always call out the RPG Pundit by name to differentiate us. So whenever he says somebody with almost 10K subs, he's talking about me. All right, I'm going to do something here. Momentito. Okay. All right, so I put the link. If you want to come on and, you want to crack wise a little bit about Condor, we can talk about RPG stuff maybe a little bit afterward. But if you do want to crack wise a little bit about, Condor DM in this video, I did put the link in there so you guys can, if you're feeling up to it, have a good microphone. Just make sure there's no technical difficulties. Test your stuff before you come in, etc. So,
made up of the old school tabletop role-playing game community audience. Oh yeah. Well, let's look at Tenkar's Tavern.
Eric Tenkar. Did you guys have that on your bingo card? He launches a drone, a ballistic missile attack at Eric Tenkar. Why? You obviously, I understand when he attacks me, but why are you throwing things at the Bro SR? Why are you throwing things at Eric Tenkar of all people?
So recently, he did a change on his YouTube channel that seemed to have shot him up now to about 11K subs. Well, it's quite impressive.
No worries, brother.
But what are you seeing on his channel? I'm not trying to attack the guy, but what are you seeing on his channel? He puts up little factoids that the old school tabletop role-playing game community agrees with.
I love that. Yeah, Tenkar is just putting stuff up that they agree with. It's called news. Like, Eric kind of reports the news, and he'll give his spin on it. Yeah, the camera angle. That's kind of what I was thinking too. But for it to work, it has to be a little bit closer. Like, you have to be kind of looking up a little bit. This just is in that weird zone of complete and utter unprofessionalism. You're looking at a guy who's been on YouTube for, as near as I can tell, almost a decade. Is that right? He's been on YouTube for a decade and still can't figure out stuff that you should have learned. I mean, you can learn anywhere now. You could probably literally type a search. Obviously AI could do it for you, but on YouTube, you'd get like examples, how to frame your shots. It doesn't have to be perfect, but my God. So yeah, I think he is trying to, I think he is trying to do that. As far as Eric goes, yeah, a lot of people are like, yeah, he can make friends, and he has good content. A lot of times he'll be on the, he'll get a tip, because he's worked hard to kind of be, he's not quite as, I guess I would say, as incendiary maybe as me. But don't misunderstand. Like I hung out with Eric at CNYCon. Let's just say, I think he's simpatico with much of our, thoughts on role playing and maybe even the world, etc. I believe he is a former police officer, but he's just kind of likes to keep the gaming stuff separate from everything else. So that's why, occasionally he'll get a good piece of solid info that everybody else has to kind of follow up on and say, hey, this is what Eric Tenkar found. But Condor, of course, has to twist that. He's given them information that that they want. Well, yeah, it's a lot of times it's news, sometimes it's rumors, etc. Everybody wants that. That's why there's a market for it. He thinks there's a market for 4 videos a day about personal grudges with the old school. But there's no market for news coming out of Wizards of the Coast or Paizo, etc. OSR news. That's how delusional this guy is.
Things that are not controversial at all. And I mean at all. He brings up things like that, opens up the audience, and that's it. And because he does that, up, and he gets subs. He is your classic yes man.
Calling Eric Tenkar a yes man, like you don't even know what a yes man is. That's the exact wrong application of that term. You dummy. He's an absolute dummy. This guy is.
Now, what happened before that? Well, before that, he just openly talked, tried to entertain you, and didn't get too far with it. And if you think he's doing so hot, well, go over to his live streams. They have not improved the entire time.
You have to understand, too, Condor, he invents history. Like, he does this with me all the time. He can't grow without attacking people, blah, 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 blah. Well, the EFAPs have always been a part of our live streams. Like, they've never not been. But if you want to know how far the channel has grown, the channel has grown the most when I've talked about Kyle Brink's comment about white people, not being able to leave the hobby fast enough. Elon Musk, I get a ton of subscribers for a lot of these RPG videos. Now, granted, they're videos, not live streams. He doesn't understand, I think, the difference between long form video content and live streams. It's a completely different animal where you can do this kind of folksy, stopping the video, interacting with the chat. He has I've never seen somebody been immersed in something for so long and understand so very little of it. Like there's no reason he couldn't be doing what we're doing here. Getting videos, breaking it down, talking with his audience. Well, he would need an audience first. But the reason he won't do that is he is supremely lazy. You are the laziest person I've ever seen on YouTube, Steven. Yep. Yeah, Eric's a nice guy. I enjoyed hanging out with him. His wife is cool. Yep. Yeah, no one of consequence. Welcome to YouTube. It's just the way it is. No less than Professor DM also. We'll talk to now. Professor DM doesn't quite do what we do, or a lot of places, but he even considers like just reporting on the malfeasance of Wizards of the Coast as, you know, kind of that sort of red meat material, and he understands that's where, you know, that's where, for lack of a better term, like the money is, you know, the views, all that stuff. Yeah, when you do an advice video or anything like that, look, people, I've said this before, people already think they know what they're doing. So our audience is older already. It'll be hard for somebody to go like, hey, guess what? You've been doing it wrong for 35 years. Let me tell you how you should do it. Pretty much everybody is considers that they're doing things the right way. That's why I don't really meddle with that anymore. Sometimes I'll do a quick tip as far as like, oh, this is something I do, you know, it might have some utility, but it can't be as generic as here's how you need to start doing your NPCs. You got to start blah, 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 blah.
Go back to his early live streams before the jump up to 11K, and he gets just about the same numbers now. Nothing has improved, because on the live stream, well, he doesn't use those factoids. He just goes back to talking to you. And it's, you know, it hasn't changed. So the numbers on his live streams don't change at all. If somehow he's improved as a content creator, you know, with all these little videos he's putting out, why hasn't that translated over to his live streams?
It's the stupidest. You know what? He admitted he uses AI to write. This is so stupid, but it kind of makes sense for the delusional world of Vulture DM, Condor DM. I think he openly said, like, yeah, I use AI to help me write my live streams. And I'm like, what do you mean write live streams? And I had to like make sure I was listening correctly. You don't write a live stream. You can and, you know, probably should script videos, but that would entail a lot of other things like editing, putting in, you know, pictures, stuff like that. Something to make it semi-professional. But this dummy thinks he's like playing 4D chess. So he has AI help him write a live stream script. One where you're the venue, Stephen, you're supposed to be extemporaneous. You know, if you're not kind of directly interacting with the chat the whole time, you interact with them at least a little bit, or you have material that you go through that you think will be entertaining for them. Say, you know, a fat loser in a one-room hovel.
He has done really nothing. He has not improved in any real sense. He pretty much posts up a ton of facts that the old school community agree with. And it's been non-stop. That's what he puts out. And, well, they reward that. They don't reward talent and charisma. I'll tell you why. Because the pettiness of this audience, the old school audience, has been catered to forever. They're so used to having this part of themselves catered to that they don't bother to worry if you have talent or charisma. That's it. And when you...
he was cursed, folks, with talent and charisma. I mean, it's a tough burden to bear. Joel Peterson, $4.997 for 10 Canadian, even with the exchange rate. That's close enough. We'll tell you what. We'll give you some Hundra magic. Whoa! Get the old atomic leg drop there, too, on top. Condor knows nothing about the games he's been talking about on his streams. I think he's using AI to buff up his knowledge. He's never played them. Yeah, just gets AI. There you go. My apologies. I didn't even read ahead. Just gets AI to spit out generic information and reads it off live. Yeah, you have hit the nail right on the head, Joel. He's using AI now because, look, if he's talking about 2E, or just even D&D in general, I'm gonna be like, okay, I think he does have experience there. I wouldn't doubt that. So I'd be, inclined to believe him. But he's doing, I'm going to do a Traveler stream. I'm going to do a he's like, I'm going to do a Pendragon stream. It's like, dude, I've never heard you talk about Pendragon. Like, I've actually run Pendragon. It was a long time ago. And, sometimes I love just reading the books. They're beautiful. I have the Great Pendragon campaign / the Boy King. You don't have any of these games here. Like, I could walk over and show you like a stack this high, of Pendragon books I have. Some of them actually used, Stephen. You have nothing. But I'm going to talk to you about Pendragon because ChatGPT told me. They told me all about the game Pendragon. Us vultures have kicked the condors out of the wake. He's not one of us. He gives us a bad name. A bad name to the kettle. Is that what it's called? Okay, thank you, Left for Vultures. Appreciate it, brother. God. And Brian Smaller, poor old Steven, has kangaroos loose in the top paddock. That is for sure. He got a few Joeys up there. Condor. Yeah, it's one thing, I guess. Like, I don't use AI to write anything. I don't even use it for like scripting of any sort. The only thing I will occasionally use ChatGPT for is I'm doing a video on these things, this subject matter. Can you give me a couple of title suggestions? That's about as deep as it goes as far as my use of ChatGPT and YouTube. And that's only because, figuring out what's good in the algorithm is such a crapshoot. So sometimes I will gladly get some guidance there, but that's having it spit out a list of 8 versus writing an entire live stream script. Live streams can go for like an hour. Sometimes they go for like 2 hours. Steven, what are you doing?
People here, like the Dungeon Professor, who has charisma, well, they leave. They separate. I would even look at a guy like the RPG Pundit, who has a bit of charisma, a bit for the type of nerd he is, but he has to keep himself separate from this community mostly and create it his own. So they reward some actual talent and charisma.
Is that why when I go over to RPG Pundit's Sunday stream that he has once a month, like half of this chat is over there? Oh, but they're separate. I'm sorry, Stephen. It's a world of... He will literally make... He doesn't even know or think that he's lying because he invents this stuff in his head. He makes it a reality and then reports on it like this is just fact. What are you talking about? This is fact.
Over there. But the RPG Pundit still plays to one petty factor, which is attacking people the audience doesn't like. So, he's rewarded for some charisma, right? Having a bit of the it factor, a tiny bit. But add that to him attacking people, well, you get what you expect. Then there are content creators with almost 10K subs.
Here it comes.
And pretty much all their content, just about, is attacking people the audience doesn't like. Now, if these people that have almost 10K subs that I speak of had actual talent and charisma, Here's what I wonder. When I see these people go over to other streams, outside of going to the RPG Pundit stream, who, no matter who he has on, he'll be talking quite a bit, and his audience will reward that. So I want to separate him out of that picture. When you see some of these guys that constantly attack people going on other streams, what you'll notice is it's low on the like count. Like, it's not big. It doesn't reflect the audience that they have.
It's so bizarre. So if he's referring to me, I mean, I don't do a ton of other streams, but when people ask if I at all can, I usually will. But let's be clear. It's usually someone who's just starting out, and they're like, hey, maybe I'll put Double D on, and we'll get a couple of the of his chat over here. But you're not going to work like miracles, like if a small YouTuber is having me on, for just like a little sit down informal chat, you're not going to get the same number of like live viewers maybe as this gets, just because it's a smaller channel. You have to grow, and you have to grow naturally. I think he thinks in his mind like I have control over everybody in this chat, everybody's lives, and I can just like push a button and summon you to everywhere I'm at. I'm going to be doing a stream, with this YouTuber, someone like maybe like Death Angel Shadow, who I had a great time with, a couple weeks ago on a stream. Boom. All right, now you guys, all, what do we got? Almost 100 of you in the chat here. I can just push a button and then have you all come there. And if it's anything less than that, that's a reflection on me. You dummy. This is so stupid. Every time I think he may have hit his peak of idiocy, he exceeds it. And let's talk about your streams for a moment, Steven. You routinely have 5 people or less, and you've been doing YouTube for 10 years. What does that say about you? When each of your 3 videos you release every day, you know what? I'm gonna get it ready just in case. Because when this is over, we'll take a look at where your views are. Yeah. It's not going to be pretty.
Why is that? Well, because in reality, when they go on these other streams, they're not there to attack people. They're there to talk. And that means, well, they're going to get support if they have talent and charisma on those streams. And they don't. So it reflects reality, right? When they're on other streams, they do not get a bunch of likes. They're not rewarded in that way. But suddenly they go back to their own YouTube channel, and once again, they attack people the audience doesn't like, and they are rewarded. You'll notice some guy...
Oh, poor me. I don't get rewarded. Says the man who does literally nothing, but his whole content now has been, for the last week, just attack videos. And even when he was starting to do a little bit of the other stuff, it's probably still like 95% attack videos on the old school, or me, or Ryan David, somebody like that. That's all he does. So to hear somebody lamenting, oh, that's all they do is attack people. We attack people to make it humorous because everybody likes watching a clown, a malignant clown, just continually step on rakes. And that's what we're doing here, Stephen. It wouldn't be the same with me because I'm somewhat of a normal person. You are a 5'2" deranged midget.
Guys have YouTube channels that have, for a period of time, been very low on the count. Like for a long time, they did not grow. But if you go back to that time period, you'll see they're doing just gaming content and they're not attacking people. But now, some guys who are very low are closer to my numbers. But that growth all comes from a time period where they started attacking other people the audience doesn't like. That means before that, when they talked about games, well, they didn't have the it factor, talent, or charisma to really grow on YouTube. Look at my claims of having talent and charisma. Well, I grow with a minority part of the audience. When I went over to do my interview with DM Bloodworth, well, the likes are above what you see here. Doesn't seem to reflect what I have going on. I got more, right? Especially for the views. I did pretty well.
Boy, it's almost like the number of views is oh my Lord. Stephen, what are you talking about? He goes over to a better channel, a more popular channel, and he's amazed that, oh my God, there's more than 5 people in the chat. Oh my God. That must be a reflection of me. It's like in A Bridge Too Far when the German general, I think it was Model, he was like saying like, why are the Allies parachuting here? What's important here? Me, I'm important. They're after me. That's how egotistical Stephen is. Incredible. He does an interview on a better channel, a more popular channel, and then takes credit for the fact that there's more people in the chat.
I mean, in most cases, I outpaced guys with 10K subs or close to it. Got more likes than them.
Exactly.
Had a better reaction than they did. Why did that happen when I went over to...
The thing is, he's a curiosity, so people will tune in a little bit, but you have to understand that's kind of that's not for your... Stephen, that's not for your genuine talent. It's that everybody thinks you're a freak. You know this to be true in your heart of hearts. So obviously, that's why any interview you did, like would have done with me, they'd have been through the roof on your channel and mine. Because people would have been like, wow, you know, this is something odd. You know, 2 people who don't like each other sitting down. You know, you got the somewhat normal YouTuber and then this, you know, midget freak.
His YouTube channel. Well, it's because I have talent and charisma, and that actually comes with me. So if I go on your stream, it's effective. I can talk a lot. I know what I'm talking about. I'm interesting. And that's exactly the reaction I got from people when I went over to the DM Bloodworth stream. I have known about this for years, and I had to really go from being frustrated with the audience, you know, being mad that they wouldn't support charisma and talent, and just get over it.
If you have to keep telling people you have charisma and talent, there's a fair chance you don't have either. That's a tough life lesson there, Stephen. It's just like when you have to tell people, hey, I'm a nice person. Do you ever see those people in your real life? I'm a good person. I'm a nice person. And invariably, like 99 times out of 100, it's a very bad person saying that they're a good person. So too with this. I've got charisma. I got talent. No, you're a buffoon. People can hardly believe what comes out of your mouth because you just create this delusional world and then put it out there. And instead of just kind of being like, oh yeah, that guy's kind of so funny, he does this, you have this darkness within you that forces you to just lash out at people like Eric Tenkar, like Harmony Ginger. like I think I said on Wednesday, how do you attack someone like Harmony Ginger? She is like the sweetest girl you'd ever want to imagine. Like goes out of her way to not have any beef with anybody. But this fat pud actually said in his attack video, "Hey Harmony, talk shit, get hit." Now I know he wasn't talking literally. I do understand that, but it's such a crude thing to say to somebody who is almost universally agreed to be a pretty nice, genuine sweetheart of a person.
I had to get over that fact because, well, I could be mad at them, but they've had that part of who they are catered to for so long that I sort of get it. It makes sense. It's a catered side to who they are, their petty side. They do.
This is, Stephen, this is like I think somebody said up there, it might have been, who's it, Jeremy? He doesn't, or Joel, I'm sorry. This is internet blood sports. Welcome to Thunderdome. How do you not know this is how this works? If you start, it's like two bodies attracting each other in space, two things that start to orbit each other, unless one or both make a concerted effort to be like, hey, let's squash this. I don't want to do this. I'm out of this. This is what happens. This is the blood sport aspect. And it's entertaining. It always has been. Look, even before there was an internet, it was entertaining because everybody would watch, Entertainment Tonight or, whatever the show of the day was. And, there'd be all this gossip about, people who don't get along. And, there was a feud between this actor and, this one. People love the drama. And quite frankly, I didn't really ask for it. As I've said many a time, you picked this fight with me. I have tried to stop it a couple different times. While participating in it, I understand. But I have tried to be like, hey, why don't we come to an agreement? And you just can't, which is fine, but just don't act surprised and like, oh my God, why is this happening to someone as pure and talented and charismatic as me? Holy shit.
To support Yes Men. It's just, you'll notice right away when you take these people away with no talent from areas where they're attacking people or giving out little factoids, playing the yes man gimmick, the second you put them in environments where they need talent and charisma to get more support, they don't get it.
My pleasure, Bob. My pleasure.
They go on the streams and it doesn't reflect the following that they have. In any other part of YouTube, even in the new school part of the hobby, when guys there have talent and charisma, they are rewarded. When they go on other people's streams, they're continued to be rewarded because they bring that with them.
It's just so delusional. Yeah, and OGGM, he is another one. OGGM, he's been talking about OGGM, Mike, for a long time. Like way before me, way before I was even on YouTube. He just, for whatever reason, has picked fights time and time and time again with OGGM, and now he has OGGM. I don't want to speak for him, but I don't want to call it hate, but man, OGGM really doesn't like Condor, and OGGM is one of those guys who seems like he tries to get along with everybody. The gym plays for 5. Thank you, sir. I've known too many people like this, constantly crying for attention. Yep, it's the old meme. Look at me, I'm an attention whore. And it's some girl doing a handstand on the beach with a bikini. Any man who must say, I am king, is no true king at all. Wise words from the patriarch of the Lannister family. That's right. Tywin. Good pull there, sir. Thank you.
Right? It reflects the reality of their following. Only in the old school do you see our bigger YouTubers having this strange issue when they go over to a stream on another channel where they can't do something petty like play yes man or attack people, suddenly they don't get the big reward.
And let me just rebut this again with actual proof. Like when I went on Ryan David's show, on the Speakeasy, we had a good time, but he was willing, I think, to talk about you, Condor. But I had already noticed at that point, like, you weren't specifically going after me. So I was very kind of like, well, whatever, live and let live sort of a attitude. I was not taking cheap shots at you at all. Now, I certainly wasn't going to stop anybody else from doing it because that's not my place. But I have this gift that other dudes have. Other dudes, I would say, of quality. You can read the room, This is something you'll never be able to do. So there have been times where I have stayed my hand, Stephen, to your benefit. And I should have known, like I'd given you, I don't want to say the benefit of the doubt, but I had always said like, well, maybe there can be some agreement sometime. It's clear that's never going to happen. That's why you're going to now be the eternal lol cow. That's why I want to stamp this thing called the Vultureverse. And I want to have a ton of people just make like that. That would be my absolute dream, is to just have people start to notice you and just make Vultureverse content. I know some people already do the aforementioned, Saturday Speakeasy with Ryan, but there's way more people that could harvest you for larfs, because you are an eternal spring of retardation, sir. Yeah, buffoon steps on rakes. Remind you of anyone? Hashtag dabbler. Yeah, that's what I said at the beginning, Edgelord. The only thing separating this guy from someone like Stuttering John is just notoriety. But he is every bit the lol cow that John is. And I wish I could convince him that, because he's up in Canada, so there's very little he can do, so to speak, as far as like stopping, let's just say the critique of his content. And that really is what it is. It's critique of the content.
It's as if they're not bringing much to the table, but that's already true. A lot of guys barely grow off of bringing one of them onto their stream. There's not much there. For a YouTuber who has charisma and talent, the old school tabletop role-playing game audience online is a very unrewarding audience to serve. There is a minority that appreciate it, and I chase those people. There could...
Now he's blaming you guys. He's now blaming... he's now blaming the audience. James for 10. That is a knockout, sir.
This centipede is a predator. Centipede.
Figured you would appreciate that one, James. He is a vulture feeding on the bones of a superior RPG culture. Yeah, that's pretty succinctly and I would say concisely put, James. It's all he does, and he bitches about it nonstop too. The people that give him a reason to get up in the morning, the same ones that he, just vilifies time and time again. See, I'm not going to say you don't have value, Stephen. You have huge value now. You are a great source of entertainment and amusement to people. So please keep doing what you're doing. That's why he's talked in other videos about how his other channels got strikes on him and all that. I would hope he would know that just bro code, YouTuber code, that is just verboten. So nobody in this audience I know will never F with your channel, ever, because you are too amusing to get rid of. I will fight for you to the ends of the earth, because in many respects it's guaranteeing future business, I guess, for me. Aster, my good to see you, my friend. Yeah, who the F told him he has charisma? He told himself. Those are the only people he connects with, is himself, me, myself, and I. I'm starting to wonder now how much he actually DMs. I don't think it's nearly as much as he says, but I understand there's a little bit of bravado there, a little bit of braggadocious behavior. That's okay. But, when push comes to shove, I'm not sure he does nearly as much nowadays as he once did. He seems to have a lot of free time. And the thing is, too, he doesn't talk about things that are like going on in current games. Like, I just started this stream. I was like, oh yeah, it was fresh for my mind because it was, 12 hours ago or whatever. We played last night, Gotham City Chronicles, the RPG, and I couldn't contain, my, hey, this is what's going on. We're going up against this bat call, blah, blah. And I'm just a player in this game, and I still wanted to talk about it. If he's a man with charisma and talent, well, why wouldn't you be just telling us nonstop about what's going on in some of your campaigns? Oh, let me tell you this. This is, my party. They're going up to the Mountain o' Doom, and along the way they encountered this, and then they got past this trap. They almost died here. It seems like you would have a plethora of stories to tell for someone who doesn't want to do this kind of content, but is, I guess, forced into it.
There'll be a few people in my audience that are these petty kinds of people. Maybe they'll leave my channel because I put out a video like this, right?
Yeah, I haven't.
But
no one of consequence. I have not.
Later, so it doesn't really matter. They're not stable people. Even if I had them in my audience now, they'll be gone soon, no matter what I do. So to me, if it just makes it a little sooner, putting out a video like this to, push them away, well, that sort of cleans up things for me. Because in reality, I'm just chasing the part of the audience that can appreciate real talent and real charisma. Now, you might think I'm being cocky. It's not that. I'm just confident that I have these things. I know it. I've done social things forever. Crowd work, a successful game master.
Edgelord for 2. Condor voice for super tip system. Look it up. Okay, I will endeavor to do that. Thank you, my friend.
Serving people and entertaining them.
Oh, my Lord.
And when you can do that well, you'll know it, especially if you're doing it. I've done it in life. I do it on here. I've had 4 YouTube channels. This is my 4th. My other channels, I all built them.
Oh, really? OGGM, you have it on good authority? He's not running anything up there. Yeah, he lives up there. I know. It doesn't sound like he has anything currently going. I don't look. I have some actual plays up. For channel members. You can just kind of look. I just did it to kind of demystify, like, hey, I'm just a normal DM, like anybody. I never claimed to be the best. I think I'm okay. I think I'm pretty good. But then again, I have a long running group. But man, I'm not sure. I will still occasionally in these kind of impromptu streams, if you look back, I'm not afraid to say, hey, here's what's going on in our campaign. We're having a lot of fun with this. Or, hey, we switched over to this system. We made the switch over to Castles and Crusades. And then lately, just this past 9 months, before I started my break, we were playing Shadow Dark. He never has this kind of information. And who knows, he'll probably start putting it in now. And if that's the case, then, okay, then, point taken.
Them all up. Based on charisma, talent, not saying what people just want to hear.
That'd be gold, Jerry. Gold.
People as the core of my content. Though I got a lot from the old school, and I never want to walk away from it carelessly. I'll still do my gaming, of course. But as far as making content for that part of the hobby, I realize nothing is going to change. And speaking my mind without kissing your ass with factoids you want to hear, or...
Going back to Eric Tenkar here. Apparently Eric Tenkar is kissing people's asses by giving them information. It's so fucking delusional. It almost defies description. Like somebody said earlier, like he had, he did have a jaw injury, serious. And somebody said like, hey, this guy may have had like brain trauma. And I am now starting to believe that. I'm starting to get into that camp that he may have some sort of lingering like CTE or something, like these football players from like the 70s, 80s, 90s. If that's the case, somebody needs to take away his camera and microphone.
Doing content that doesn't focus on attacking people that you hate, I realize I'm never going to get to the big prize here. The ceiling has already been set for people like me. And I also want to warn other people.
That's what Patty said. Yeah, got fetal alcohol syndrome. He certainly, he certainly looks
real
like it.
Talent and charisma that are free thinkers.
He's a couple of things I've been rethinking since even like Wednesday stream, and somebody pointed out, and they're like, may have been Crazy Mouse. He's like, just do some like geometry with that door. Like he's a short guy. And I'm starting to think, he's got to be really short. I'm thinking he's got to be what, guys? 5'2", 5'3" max. Maybe 5'4". This is a short guy. If that's the case, I got a foot on you, Condor. I got a foot on you.
This is probably not the place where you want to make content if you want to grow. If you're looking for something more than just having fun on YouTube and you want to grow a YouTube channel, this is not the place unless you can be petty. Taker's Tavern strongly proves this. When he spoke freely, pretty much low end. Now that he does the Yes Man game on his channel, he's well rewarded for it. There's nothing wrong with that. He's figured out what the audience wanted. That's true.
He's not a hobbit. I think he eats like a hobbit, but
it didn't want talent and charisma. It wanted to be told
Chris
things
is here.
That it agrees
Mad
with
Scribe himself.
The majority.
Good to see you, buddy.
And so he did that.
And oh my Lord, we have Joel again. My man, thank you so much, Joel. What do we got? Ooh, let's give you this.
What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
Succulent Chinese meal. That's what I'm giving you guys here. If Condor has ever touched a football, it was because someone called it a pigskin and he thought it was a giant pork rind and he tried to eat it. I can see that happening. Absolutely. Condor, Steven took the ball again, coach.
And they paid him off.
He's over there gnawing
I totally
it.
Get that. I'm not jealous of it. I just think it's the
Thank
greatest example of just how strong the Yes Man gimmick here is in the old school. It is in your face on a level I've never seen before. And the audience has reacted exactly as I've criticized the audience for years. They've done exactly what I said they do. But they've done it in everyone's face. He played Yes Man. He's jumped to 11K subscribers, which is amazing for a content creator in the old school compared to how most don't get to that height. It can take years. If not, it will just never happen. The thing is, if you take Tanker's Tavern,
hey, we had that
the
last
guy
night,
who
Chris.
runs that channel, to another channel, it doesn't get a big bump. It doesn't seem to reflect his following. So if you were to look at that and go, he's a big YouTuber, we should bring him on something important, I would only say to you that what you're getting isn't someone with talent or charisma. You're getting a yes man.
I mean, he is sort of right in something, in that there is a ceiling, for in this corner of the internet, with this niche hobby. As much as we'd like to say D&D is, it's mainstream now. It's not terribly mainstream. I mean, just people know what it is. And yes, way more people than ever, are trying it. But I think a lot of those people are now going away, especially with, the average campaign lasting 6 weeks. A lot of people probably, that's their experience. Oh, I played D&D for 6 weeks. That's all I'll ever play in my entire life. So it's a niche hobby. Old school portion of that is a niche of a niche. There's only ever going to be, a certain amount that you can get to. So you either have to broaden yourself out into gaming in general, and that's, what, people maybe like Professor Dungeon Master, Bob the World Builder, but then again, they can't sometimes say maybe the things that they want to say on their channel because, they don't want to lose people or ruffle any feathers. And I understand that. It's a trade-off. I decided long ago I'd rather have a smaller base, a smaller, more loyal base, and be able to, call somebody a fat faggot at my leisure and not have to worry about somebody clutching their pearls and go, did you hear what he said? Oh my God. The guy who was pimping, the Candlekeep mysteries called someone a fat faggot. Oh my God. Let's cancel him. It's a lot better to be able to, to laugh in the faces of people like that. So I will happily take a smaller but more tasty piece of that pie. Thank you very much.
And if he can't play that game over on your thing or your panel or on that stage, that guy is in trouble. Same thing with the guys that attack people. Before they were attacking, they barely grew on YouTube. When they were trying to do normal content, it went nowhere.
I think he's in his mid-40s, maybe getting into his later 40s. I think he's actually said that.
Some of the biggest names you know of.
He started DMing like kind of full-time. Actually, in the year I started DMing full-time in 1991. But he said something else, like something related to, maybe his age. So I think he is in his mid-40s. So I got it roughly 10 years on him.
Absolutely went nowhere while doing that. So if you take them to a stage...
It's like being punched in the arm by Muhammad Ali. You're welcome, Ethan. You're welcome. Dr. Yorius Papers 2020 for 5. Thank you, sir. Just ran by the... Oh, my God. Yeah, today's the No Kings rally in my town. Never saw so many walkers in my life. Yeah. Bunch of sad, pathetic boomers. Oh, my... something tells me I should go down and do a stream down at ours. Man, if I had the time, I might. But yeah, we have ours in our town too. It is led by this exact same people. A bunch of desperate, sad old boomers.
Over to another panel. You don't get much from them. It doesn't seem to reflect their following. Now, in every other part of YouTube, when you see someone with a big following on YouTube, you'll notice if they go over to a stream, well, it seems to reflect the reality of their success. That stream gets a bump. Those people get a lot more views. That's because in other parts of YouTube, charisma and talent is rewarded, even in the new school part of the hobby, of the tabletop role-playing game hobby. I have honestly not encountered another part of YouTube that is like this with the majority of the audience in that part of YouTube. It's only this part.
Hey, Rich, how you doing? DM Bloodworth, yeah. When I went on his channel, I lost 3 subs. I haven't forget. Congratulations, you got an STD, a Steven transmitted disease. If you let's see, one second here. If you're in the mood to commiserate, don't feel obligated, Bloodworth. But I did just put the link in there if you're interested.
Oh, I'm open to somebody else pointing something else out to me. I've just not encountered it. On YouTube, if you're interesting with talent and charisma, you are straight out rewarded for that. It's only here in the old school that is just not the case. Though, I think, again, the oddity here is this audience, in a very specific way, has had that petty side of themselves catered to by most people who have tried to grow on here. But what happens to most of our YouTubers? They come and they go. Why? Because they don't have it. And when tested, they fail. At certain points, there are some things the audience wants to hear in their petty way. And when a person stops saying what they want to hear, who's grown a pretty sizable following, they'll suddenly fall off a cliff. But why is that happening if they have talent and charisma? Like, look at guys that could have up to 3,000 subs. How did they get there? Well, they said what you wanted to hear. Then they stopped saying what you exactly wanted to hear. When they did, automatically they fell off. Why? Because they don't have talent or charisma. It's a pretty important factor for an entertainer on YouTube to have that. Every successful entertainer I've seen has that. Has the it factor. Has charisma. It's so odd to come to the old school and see that, no, that's not how the game is played here. See, I'm a free thinker. I can't bend the knee. I can't make the core of my content attacking people. Makes me uncomfortable, honestly, even doing what I have done.
I mean, when I heard this, I almost fell out of my chair. It's literally all he does is attack people. Hammer and tong 3 times a day.
Right.
Just look at it. He's like looking right at you. I mean, I've said many things about him. He may be a psychopath. All right, Bloodworth is here. How do? I don't think I can hear you, Rich. Cannot hear you. Hello, hello, hello. I don't think I'm... Yep, no problem. I will... Doesn't look like you're muted, so I think it might be on your end.
You can hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah. For some reason, the settings sometimes when I switch from one thing to the other, it switches mics and all that nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
So, hey, how's it going? Good. I just got home. I was watching, I was oh, wait, you're going to respond to this video, which I watched, and I was like, all right, let me jump on in if you don't mind. And, it's funny because, he goes on this thing. And again, I had a very positive experience when he was on mine. I had a positive experience when I was on his. The only thing that I wasn't able to do on his was I wasn't able to jointly stream. So it was only on his, and then it was only on the collaboration connection, which really just puts his video on mine. Now, so it did nothing as far as my channel getting traffic from our interaction that second time. And so when he was going on and he was talking about, the whole thing of, draw and charisma and this or that, and I was like, well, it doesn't really play out that way that he thinks. I think that he believes that it was like, and, I mean, not that I care about the 3 subs, but I was like, bottom line, he went from, I believe it was like 986 or 7 to 998 after he was on my channel. And I went from, I went from 4670 to 4666. For like the last 4 days.
Thank you, Stephen. We got him over 1,000. We actually on Wednesday got him briefly over 1,000 because Ryan Nikolai was
when he did click 1,000. I was like, one of your followers there was like, I just put him to 1,000.
That was Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's already back down below it now. Yeah. You know, like I said, I had a very positive experience. You know, we had a good back and forth and everything, but he just can't let the angst go.
No.
And
he has issues.
Yeah, and I remember watching your stream the other day, and you were like, hey, he really does know some of the stuff that he was talking about. When he talks about gaming, he has value, you know, and what he's saying. And that's like when I watched his, you know, interview with Max, and then I watched his one of his streams that he was talking about AD&D First Edition. That's what really got me to like, I want this guy on my channel. I want to talk to him because he clearly understands the nuances of, you know, the evolution of Dungeons and Dragons from 74 through, you know, to AD&D Second Edition for certain. And I was like, and he was hitting all the points that I was like, this guy knows what he's talking about. If he just stuck to that.
Yes.
You know,
well, he's become the problem, Rich, is he's become so vindictive. He's become such a dark-hearted man. Like he's now pushing back against that. Like, oh, and you may have seen this in some of his recent videos. You guys wanted me to do this kind of content. Well, I got news for you. You know, you didn't have anything to do with it, and I'm not sure I even want to keep doing it. You know, I think he's backed off and is now like, well, I guess I will keep doing it because I think he's finally understanding like that's really the only time people take you seriously. But his initial reaction was to say, "Oh yeah, you guys like that? F you. I'm not doing it anymore." And it's like, dude, we're literally doing it for your own good. Yeah, like you can't say we're not doing it for you.
It's almost like he has a fear of success.
Yes.
A fear of getting taken seriously without the negative feedback loop that he's looking for.
Well, you know, I said on Wednesday, I have no doubt he went through something. To be this kind of a person, he has some kind of trauma like in his background. And that's why he instinctively does not want to trust anybody, lashes out instinctively at everybody, just does not take to new situations, new friends well. He keeps everybody kind of at arm's length. I bet in real life, he was probably a handful for his ex-wife. Who probably just tried everything in the book and was just like, you know what, I just can't do it anymore. I could not imagine living with someone like Steve.
Yeah, it's almost like I said, I think he might have been getting a lot more subs and a lot more people paying attention to him, and he's pushing away. You know, it's almost like Watsy saying we don't need. We don't need the middle-aged white guys following us anymore. Oh wait a second, hold on.
Whoa,
whoa, you know, and it's like when you're pushing people away that genuinely want to give you, and I know he says, you know, he doesn't want people's second chances or anything because he doesn't feel like he's done anything ever wrong, and you know, and it's like that's just not the way, you know. And I wanted to respond to him, you know, but I know. Like when he first announced that he was stepping away from this, he was not going to do any more interviews, and I put a post up there which has been removed. You know, I said, to be honest with you, I think you were at your best during these most frequent interviews and doing the current content that you've been doing.
Undeniably.
Talking about this, I said, you know, I really hope that you do continue reaching out to some. Now, some are going to reject him. Because they're just not at that, you know, they haven't seen maybe his more recent stuff where he seems to be kind of, you know, very on point. But Yeah, it's just a shame because he just can't let it go. And
well, he even made a video on it. He's like, I don't need a redemption arc. And it's like, Steven, you do. You don't understand. Like, you have literally attacked everybody. You become a joke. And the thing is, people will always have it in their hearts to forgive. So if he showed a little bit of humility and self-deprecation, that's the most important thing. Yeah. The ability to poke fun at yourself, like, oh my God, what was I thinking here? Why am I attacking everybody? The ability to smile and look like you're having fun instead of just always being, angered up to, 9 out of 10 or, 10 out of 10, constantly. He doesn't understand the power that would do for him and his channel. Yeah. Let me grab this from our buddy.
Go right ahead.
James, thank you so much. Oh my Lord. What do we got here? Let's send you somewhere, James. We'll send you. Yo ho, my lad. You go, my lad.
I think some of the things like he's been saying, he was like, oh, well, people come to my channel because they're, he's talking of himself. They come to my channel because, he doesn't use the word knowledgeable, but he says, I'm knowledgeable and charismatic. And it's like
two things you would never
everybody
say.
else is not knowledgeable and they're only partially or not at all charismatic. Now, I don't consider myself to be charismatic. I think what comes off of like when I'm doing a video and people will actually say it to me is that I show my enthusiasm for what I'm talking about. That's about as charismatic as I get.
I try to strive just to be relatable. I wouldn't look if somebody. I would never call myself charismatic. That's like for other people to say. If they want to say it, fine. But I would say, like, at least I try to strive to be relatable to people. By the way, that super chat from James. I wonder if having your chubby Eskimo wife leave you for your brother might cause severe abandonment and trust issues. You stepped in it now, James. It's going to be there's going to be 10 videos on that.
But I just think that there's some things that people have said, like his whole presentation. I'm not talking about what's behind him. I don't care. Sit down. Being in that constant shifting, pacing kind of thing is a little bit off-putting. It's not casual, and I think if he sat down, and did his presentation like you do, like I do, like most do, but if you're standing there and you're starting to shift back and forth and everything, it shows that you're agitated, and that comes off. That you're agitated and that's not a great presentation.
Look, I know he smokes on stream. His whole thing should be, I'm the dude that talks about role-playing games while sitting in a comfy chair, smoking a cigarette, just, he would get people like, who is this guy? And if he would stick to just talking about what he knows, he probably would, he'd at least do better than he is now, but we're at a point, I don't think he can ever change. I mean, it's one of those things, an old dog, you can't teach him new tricks. Edgelord for 2, what time tonight, Bloodworth?
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is our OSC game.
Is that Eastern Standard Time?
Eastern Time, yes. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'll be there a little bit early. I'll be, waiting if anybody wants to chime in. And yes, they are trying to rush to a dwarven outpost with their mule Sal, who has been poisoned and has anywhere from up to 2 days, possibly slightly more, maybe less. And they're trying to get there to save their mule. All of a sudden, they've grown attached to this mule. And that's going to be the pressing issue for them.
Love it.
Not their current adventure, not anything like that.
Yeah,
like,
just
we gotta save Sal. That's awesome. That's the great thing about having great role players and just people that are want to have their characters live in the moment, which is really really something special. And it's only our our third session. So they grabbed onto these characters really, really fast, and that's awesome.
I love it. Matty here for 5. Thank you, Matt. I've ignored him because of his demeanor, attitude, and drama farming. Yeah, he picks fights with everybody. And then is surprised when they react. And he vacillates between being the tough guy, like, you know what I did? I did a 5-minute video on him and I shut him up for a while. And it's like, no, it's like, you don't understand. People just, A, they were either tired of you, Steven, or B, you know, they just wanted to be like, I'm just going to let it go. Maybe, you know, maybe I can do him a favor by ending this cycle of misery and fear. Or he'll be like that, or he'll be like, I'm being attacked. I'm a small channel being attacked by these 10,000 sub channels. He can't make up his mind what he is. He's either the ultimate badass or he's the ultimate victim. Why don't we watch a little bit here? We'll see what we can.
A bit regretful at times over the years attacking people because it doesn't feel right. You get mad, you get something off, you know, out of your mind, off your chest. It doesn't feel right to me. Even the recent stuff I've done doesn't feel right to me. That's why I can't continuously do it.
There he's saying the good stuff I'm doing, that just shows you how far he's twisted into, I guess, the dark side, if you will. The stuff where you just talk about games and you get people to actually like you, you don't like it and you can't do it because I think we all know at his core, there's some part of him that says, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve people's kindness. I don't deserve people saying good things about me. I'm not used to it because, like I said, he went through something where somebody kicked him around figuratively or literally, and he's not having any of it. So these things where we're being nice to you, Steven, we like you, he literally cannot handle it. And that is like a therapy issue. He should be seeking therapy for that.
Also playing
or he should, you know, he should do a lot more live streams and you know, a lot more streaming with others and talking about gaming and everything like that until he becomes comfortable.
Well, he's scheduled about 100 live streams in the future. I went to go find one, and you look at his channel, and it'll put at the top like the one you scheduled, you know, for the most recent. So it's like, what the hell is this? There's like 6 months worth of live stream scheduled, so you have to scroll all the way down to find the most recent ones he's actually done.
Yeah, which I didn't even think Restream really lets you, you do that really well. You know, because it's a hard time. Like I had the fiasco with. You know, I forgot that it does the restream as if you're going to do it tonight, even when you set a different day, and it doesn't always catch. And you know, I had that misfire like 2 weeks ago, you know, where it was like they thought it was Saturday night instead of Sunday, and that's because the date changed, not the time changed, not the date. So anyway.
I use EVMux, EVMUX, and kind of a little bit of a StreamYard clone. It has a little bit more functionality, a little bit more customizable nature to it. It's only $25 a month too. Now, I mean, you can only go to 2 places, but I've kind of found that's pretty much all you need to go to. I've tried doing a third. I tried doing X. I tried doing Kick. I'd consider doing others. And then I'm like, you know, it's just going to be YouTube and Rumble for the foreseeable future. You know, maybe X again, but you can do 2 for free on the basic plan for EVMux. Right. So I don't know if you're ever looking for another option, you might want to just give them a try at least.
Yeah, I'll look into it and everything. I know I'm fine with Restream. I go to 3 different places, but I just do Facebook, YouTube, and X. I never got Rumble to actually work. You know, for me, it was like, how does this even work? It's like I could put stuff in there, and it's like nothing.
It's a love-hate.
It just takes forever.
It's love-hate. You do have to know certain things, some technical stuff, but I love the freedom. I like on every other Wednesday now, we're going over to Rumble and like just literally watching old movies. You know, we're watching just Sword and Sorcery. You know, fantasy movies, and free. That thing would be shut down on YouTube like this. So Rumble is not as sophisticated. So they either don't care or it's not traceable. So I'm just like, all right, we're gonna keep doing it.
Well, I have a lot of.
You mean like you don't get the copyright strikes and stuff like that?
Well, even YouTube won't give you a copyright strike. They'll just shut the stream down. If you try to stream.
You know what I've been finding with YouTube? I know we're getting kind of off the field, but when I showed that a Kickstarter, and the Kickstarter had, like, from the people running the Kickstarter, from the people who own the video, and I still got not a copyright strike, but it was just you cannot monetize this. This is going to be just unmonetized. I wasn't getting borrowed from either.
Yeah, they have the most sophisticated copyright detection system in the world, bar none.
Yeah, but it was like
YouTube.
It was like someone was claiming it that had no right to the music anyway, because they had purchased the music, so they and it was like just somebody else was like, "Hey, I hear music, I'm going to claim that," and that's all that it takes, and you don't have to prove your claim, I guess, on YouTube. So
that's why I don't bother. I don't even bother monetizing my live streams. Any monetization comes from the support of these fine folks in the chat. The ad revenue is going to be minimal anyway. It's stale dated material. So after about a week, you don't get too many views. You'll just get a trickle. So, mine usually top out at 2,000, 2,500 views. You ain't going to be feeding your family on 2,500, the revenue from advertisements on a 2,500 view video. So that's why I'm almost like, I'll remove the ads. That removes like some of the frustration with the viewers, of ads playing in the middle. So
that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good
I learned
idea.
that from Pundit. Pundit said that. He's like, I don't monetize my live streams. And I thought YouTube did it anyway. So I was like, well, if they're going to do it anyway, I'll at least try to monetize it. And he's like, no. He's like, if you just click no, they won't play him in the middle of the stream anymore.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
That stuff I know. I realize that they don't follow what they said anyway. You know what I'm saying? You'll tell them only not in midstream, only at the front end and the back end, and they still throw them midstream anyway.
Yeah, they'll try to farm you for everything they can. So you just got to minimize the damage.
And I like being honest.
All right, let's watch a little more here.
I would feel fake and phony if I got on here every day saying exactly what you want to hear. Just video after video. It would feel phony. I would feel like a cheap car salesman.
Because you can't do anything but attack people, Stephen.
That type of, that's who they are, right? It's just not me. I remember thinking a long time.
I'm not an entertainer. I'm a mentally ill person who just wants to lash out at everybody. That's all he's saying there. You've demonstrated this is the only thing in your channel that people like. And it is related to what you supposedly do in your channel. Your channel is supposedly about role-playing stuff. So talking to people about role-playing material, talking about games, that's supposed to be what you are. But when people say, yeah, you should do more of that, you're just like, I can't do that. That ain't me, bro. That ain't this channel. Well, then what is your channel? I mean, what do you stand for, Stephen?
Time ago, making videos like this, something like this, calling out the old school audience would really be harmful to what I'm trying. Like, maybe I'm wrong, and what if I break through? But I realized after 10 plus years on YouTube, no, I'm not wrong about that audience at all.
And I'm never wrong. It's classic. So delusional. He does that all the time. I'm not wrong about anything. Everybody else is wrong. It's like the old meme, with Principal Skinner from the Simpsons. Could I be wrong on this? No, it's everybody else.
And I mean, I look at the Tanker's Tavern thing, and I'm like, yeah, okay. They are communicating to me exactly who they are. Now, I'm not mad at them. It's just
yeah, but you don't understand, Chris. When he does that, people like him. He has a legitimate condition where he doesn't want people to like him. It literally does not like it. Like, it makes him uncomfortable, probably gives him like PTSD, makes him have a panic attack. I mean, after the things broke down between me and him, he did a video where initially I was like, whoa, this guy's like having a full blown like episode or attack at the beginning. Now by the end, he worked himself back into, you know, his usual mannerisms. But at first he was like, you know, deep breathing, like out of breath. I don't, you know, he seemed like totally out of sorts. I think it was part of Wednesday's stream. So he's got something going on. He just does not want people liking him for whatever reason.
I realize that's who.
Yeah, I mean, he's. I don't know. What were your interactions with him like beforehand? I imagine he was probably tried to be at least pretty normal.
What, with me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we weren't talking for years. You know.
What about like before your interview? Like, because I know you were on recently, like on Sunday.
Interview and everything. We had a few conversations. We were, you know, basically, I told him, I was like, yeah, when you come on my stream, I says, I'm not going to let anything, you know, really be like an attack on you or anything like that. I'm certainly not going to highlight anything, but I'm not going to be there with the ban button either, you know, kind of thing. And a couple, like one person came in that I never heard of before. It was somebody that was, you know, he's like, oh, that's one of my haters. I was like, well, I've never seen this person before at all. And, you know, what I did was I just ignored that person. I certainly didn't highlight anything that they were putting up there and, you know, basically just kept it on point with him. Then when we started preparing, because he was a little bit disappointed that I guess he says, I thought you said you were going to ban things. And I said, well, I can't do that from Restream. From Restream, you don't have that same, you know, I can block somebody.
That's classic behavior. Wanting you to, he needs you to ban people. This is, you know, if you follow the Dabbleverse a little bit with like Stuttering John, all these people, they have the same kinds of behavior over all these, you know, it doesn't matter who they are, but it's like, they get incensed. Somebody was there and they hated me and you interacted with them. It's like high school.
Yeah, well, I didn't even interact with them. I just explained to them afterwards. I was like, I was in Restream only. I wasn't on YouTube at the same time. Where in YouTube, I can then function and block off, you know, or hide a comment or something. I was focused on what you were saying. I'm a one-person team here, you know, so I'm focused on just what you're saying and trying to keep everybody engaged on the point that you're making. All right, I'm not ignoring everything else that was negative.
You have to, everybody understands. He would understand this. Well, I mean, he doesn't, I'm sure, but like as a YouTuber, like if you're interviewing someone, I mean, you don't have to go out of your way to highlight a normal comment that's negative about your guest. In fact, it's good form not to do that. I also think it's good form to let the chat do what they will, you know, as long as they're just not spamming the same thing over and over again and disrupting it and just being a fucking retard about the whole thing. So, you know, my thing is, you know, live and let live, but, you know, you certainly don't want to ever embarrass your guest, but you also have to tell them like, look, unless it's like very like crude, like outright like crude in a super chat, you're sort of obligated to read it. You know, they did pay money to read it. And so I would just tell them up front, like, look, if somebody is critical of you, but in a fairly respectful way, at least, I got to read that, you know, and you can either respond to it or, you know, you can just say, well, I don't have anything to say. And then I'll be like, okay, we'll let that go and let's move on. I've had to do that before with controversial guests. And, you know, it takes a little bit of diplomacy, but it can be done. But I don't think it's possible with someone like Steven because he imagines slights from everywhere all the time, 24/7. The whole world is ganging up on him. It's a personal attack. So it doesn't surprise me at all that he's monitoring your chat and telling you how to handle your business. Oh, I thought you'd ban that guy. Well, it's not his fucking business. Yeah. If I was on his stream, I would expect people, you know, he's only got like, you know, 5 or 10 people that show up to his streams anyway, but I wouldn't expect everybody there to be on my side. So if they, you know, were negative towards me, I'd just expect it.
Yeah, I know Edgelord put up that was Rotten Teeth. I've never heard of that guy before. I've never seen him before. He's never been on my stream before. And but I think for the most part, people kind of ignored him in the chat anyway, and he eventually just went on his own. He just stopped, you know, after about 10, 15 minutes or so when he was ignored.
Yeah, that's it. That's another thing Steven doesn't understand. If you just let something go, it tends to take care of itself.
Yeah.
I've had people just try to spam from beginning to end, and then it's either Cal or me or one of the guys here will have to we'll have to put them in timeout or whatever, just because they're being so disruptive. Like spamming the same thing over and over. You have to do a lot during a live stream to get that to get that treatment. So
yeah.
But other than that, if you just kind of let it go, it tends to die on its own, like you just said. Like if people aren't interacting with them, they get bored, and that's it. And in the chat, you have to understand that as a host and an interviewer, you don't want to embarrass, even if it's somebody you've been beefing with or whatever.
Right.
If they're coming on in good faith, you don't want to embarrass them. You want to try to make it as even a playing field as possible. With that exception for the super chats, of course.
Yeah. No, and that was the thing. Like I said to him afterwards, I was like, I mean, I certainly didn't focus on anything they were saying. I didn't highlight it. I highlighted anything positive that was put out there. And, I'm sorry you feel that way, but that's just not what, that just wasn't my capability of doing in the moment. I can certainly go back once it becomes a video the next day on YouTube, then I can go in there and hide those individual comments so that people, because most of the time I get more views after the stream than I do during the stream anyway.
Well, sure. Yeah.
And so that's when I'll go in and then I'll I can clean it up afterwards. If there's anything really egregious, then I'll clean it up afterwards. But if it's just something like, oh, I disagree with you, then that's going to stay. I'm sorry. It's but anything that's like really bad is, I'm going to take it down, because I want you to feel like, hey, I came on, I gained something from this, we had a nice conversation, didn't agree on every single point, but it was still, overall positive. And, I want that to, continue. Like the door is always open. I've never closed.
Well, he's here. If you want to talk about it, here's what he's saying. I don't care about this. Wrong, Steven. You do care about it. That's why you've been watching since the moment the stream started. Just tell your folks to stop trying to bother my family. Nobody's trying to bother your family. Find one instance, Steven, of me telling anybody to bother you. In fact, I've told them the opposite. I've said nobody here had better ever try to F with your channel or anything like that. I wouldn't do that to my worst enemy. And you are not my worst enemy, by the way. You're somebody we farm for laughs. And it's just, I would say, hey, maybe you ought to just, listen to what we're saying. Maybe you ought to go seek some therapy for yourself. Good. Oh, you just got here. Okay. Well, here's the long and short of it. Like, dude, you need help. Like, you have trauma. You have a lot of trauma, and you're too busy. I'm too busy to watch. Yeah, I'm sure. Like, seriously, what caused your behavior, like, to where you literally lash out at everybody 3 times a day? Like, this is insanity. You need help, like legit help, like real therapy, Steven. Okay. I do things in life. Okay. You keep saying these things. I'm an important person. I got charisma. I do things. I do this. I run 10 games a day. But when you fire up the camera, why is it that pretty much me is the only person that you talk about? Edgelord for 2. Who else says, don't attack my family, Double D. #Dabbler. Yeah. Congratulations, Condor. You're becoming the Stuttering John of the RPG world. How does that make you feel? We are now in the era of the Vultureverse. And by the way, it was really dumb of you to try to ask Rich to monitor his chat and get rid of people who were just there and they didn't like you. As long as they're not spamming or violating, the TOS or whatever, like, why are you even concerned, dude? You sit there and pretend like nothing bothers you, but everybody knows that everything bothers you. Yeah, my channel is about me. All right, Steven, do you want to come on? Boom. Link in the chat, Steven, just for you. If you want to come on, we can go mano-y-mano. I'll absolutely give you your say. But dude, there is something wrong with you. Like you defying your new content, the stuff that people like, just to stick it to people like us who said, yeah, that's a good thing that you're doing. Why would you do that? Like you understand that's like pathological behavior. The old saying, I'm going to cut off my nose to spite my face. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what you're doing. So when people say, hey, you know what? You're actually pretty good when you talk about 2E. You kind of are an interesting guy. And then you say, well, guess what? I'm not going to do that, eh? Because Double D says so. He likes it. Why would you do that? It's only going to help you. I am saying my bit. Dude, I've been saying my bit for 2 hours. I'm giving you your chance to say yours. You missed the opportunity for me to come on your show in good faith, which I was going to do. So now you can enter the arena if you want. Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. You're here. You sit there and you call me a fucking coward all the time. How I just go hide in a corner. Well, motherfucker, you're here right now. Fire up the camera and let's go. Don't be a little bitch. Yeah, of course. Yeah, because you can't, because anybody who actually calls you out to your face, all of a sudden, Mr. Charisma, where's Mr. Charisma? Where are you? Yeah, you did 50 streams on me. Maybe not that much.
I did 50 streams on you. I got my hair slicked back.
How you doing, buddy? Yep, the Legion of Doom is a raid against you, Condor. We're now living in the Vulture verse. It's just going to be a way of life. Mr. Charisma has a life. Does he? I'm wondering, does he? Oh my Lord.
What are you talking about? Double D, you've got a soft bitch voice, and I don't understand why you're going and crying in the corner. I cut you off, you son of a bitch. My new approach is to be kind and gentle to everybody, you fucking cunts.
How's it going, Double D?
I think even Steven liked that one, Ryan.
Some guy named Ryan doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Happy Saturday.
You too. Like I said, you'll be going live pretty soon. I hope everybody will head over to the Speakeasy 5, right?
5 p.m. Eastern to go see those cunts on Nerd Cognito.
Steven, you didn't talk. You bitched out like you always do. You're a coward. You know you're a coward. You didn't. All you do is say, I would verbally tear that guy apart. It takes me a 5-minute video and I silence him for 3 months. You're here. I know you're not in you know, the east wing of your palatial estate. I know you're in that same room with the same computer, with the same camera. Hit the on button, follow the link, and let's talk.
I can't do that. My new mail-order bride is under the couch. I don't give a shit about the stains on the wall. That's why the camera's up. Every once in a while, she reaches out for food. I'm sorry. I did not mean to.
No, I love it. Yeah, Rich. If you're uncomfortable, I understand. This is personal for us. So yeah, it's probably going to get.
It's just, you know, like I said earlier, maybe before Condor was on here, you know, he had a lot of, you know, interesting things to say about gaming. And you know, it was great to have him on the channel. It was great to be on his channel. And it was just, it's unfortunate that he can't take the positives. You know, that was like, hey, you really know what you're doing. You know what you're talking about at least. And you know, and it's nice to see that you're trying to, you know, and he says, I don't turn over leaves. So, which is another thing. I was like, no, you were actually doing, you know, you were doing okay there for a while, and then all of a sudden you started pushing back on, you know, any of the positives that was coming out of it, you know, and that's what's, you know, disappointing in it. And then he put out this video either this morning or possibly yesterday, was like, hey, you know what, I'll still keep on doing these kinds of things for, you know, the remainder of 2026, and then I'm moving on and abandoning, you know, this, whatever, you know. And it was like, well, I mean, you were doing well, you know, these last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden it's like, it's like I say, it's a fear of success, you know, or at least even.
He literally does not want people to like him. Steven, that's if do you want some dime store therapy here? I'll give it to you. It may be dime store, but it's true. Like, you do not feel you're worthy of other people's attention and goodwill. And that's, you have, this is where like low self-esteem is like damaging. Like, you have like really low self-esteem. Like, dude, like for you to puff yourself up for as much as you do, and then when people finally say, hey, we kind of like what you're doing here, your initial reaction is then get the fuck out. All right, let's see if we can add OGGM here.
Oh no, this guy.
This guy
for years. He has an entire archive of me because he's going to import me.
OGGM, can you hear us? Can you talk?
I told you he was a dumb bastard.
Yeah, no, it takes a couple seconds. This is a new system, and you have to reboot into.
Yeah, okay, I got it. First, I owe Richard a long overdue apology.
We hear you.
When we ended gaming together, I got a little negative, but so yeah, just want to toss that out there. Sorry.
Well, I thank you for that. And really, I've so much wanted to reach out to you because I'm looking to do a Villains and Vigilantes series of gaming. You know, particularly in the morning. So I don't know how that works out for you. And I know Shadow. I've been talking to Shadow.
Well, like I said,
I'd love for us to reconnect. I really would.
Yeah, me too. I'm sorry.
People that like me.
Yeah, I love Ryan David. Who else do we have sandwiches with besides Ryan David? Ryan David and I are brothers because we both love the same sandwich.
We do. It's
Ryan,
we can't put him away like our buddy here can. But
Ryan ever wants to leave the wife, he and I are just going to do.
All right. We got four-way traffic here. So when we start a thought, let's let the person finish it, and then that person stop. Joshua something or other. Thank you very much for $5. I truly wonder what he would do if everyone completely stopped talking about him. It's not possible, right? OGGM. I mean, he needs people to talk about him.
Yeah. On more than one occasion, I have gone months, an entire year without ever looking at his stuff, talking about him. And then Bloodworth reached out to me, I think it was 2 years ago, and said, hey, Condor DM just did a video where he's apologizing to you and me. And I went, oh, okay, that's nice. I mean, he doesn't have anything to apologize for. He's not anything I'm interested in talking about, since before the apocalypse. But then like a minute after that video posted, he was back to oh, the OGGM's a moron, he's an idiot, he's
amazing.
Like,
he does it's the same behavior that he did to me. Like, oh, we're good. Fine. Let's do this. We had that good exchange on his stream, and then boom. Like literally could not stop himself. Has zero self-control.
And I was still like, whatever, you know what? I understand this is what you need to do because you're angry, but just stop. But then he went after Harmony and all those lies about Harmony. And I was like, all right, I can't do this anymore, dude. Somebody needs to stop this.
Yeah.
Well, and I know he's just going to make more videos about how horrible we are to him and how he's the victim, but you're not. Stop lying, dude.
Yep. What were you going to say, Ryan?
I was going to say the funny thing about the whole situation, in all seriousness, is he telegraphed this whole redemption arc. I don't know if you guys caught it, but I have a capture of it. In fact, we even made one of the Vulture DM Sings videos about it. Where it was a late night weed infused rant where it was the most introspective the man has ever been, and he said, I do this. I will continue to speak the same narrative until it becomes not only my truth, but other people's truth. I thrive on hate. I don't want wars to stop. I don't want insults to stop. We backed off, and then magically after 2 months, and he wasn't getting any traction with OG or UDD. I think he did the Patty thing. Then all of a sudden there was another hit piece for us. Now we don't get it as often as you do, Double D.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Or he has a crush on Double D.
But he telegraphed the entire redemption arc by saying, these are the things that I do to get over. So this isn't a surprise. I'm just sitting back and watching the train wreck right now. So,
and by the way, Steven, stop the bullshit, stop the lies. You said I can't come on because there's people over. You're sitting in a chair. So what? You have guests over, and now you're just pecking away at a keyboard or on your phone while they're just there, staring off into space while you are supposed to be entertaining them. We know you're alone. Okay, you don't even have to hide that lie. Nobody's even going to say anything about it. I will put it one last time.
I'm alone. Nobody cares.
One last time here. There you go. And you will get your say. I will let you go on. Now, people will respond to you, which I know you're not, used to. People actually talking back to you, but all of us bitch-voiced people who get scared and, run into the corner, we may have a few things to say about you.
Cry in the corner.
Yeah.
I can't come on. I paid $20 for this tranny.
I like the mail order bride with it chained to his chair.
I hear they're cheap from China.
That's right, but that's right, Condor. You're going to get it. I mean, we tried to be nice, and as OGGM said, like he gave up on you long before. I was even willing to come to terms with you after you attacked Harmony.
I tried on 4 separate occasions to work it out with him, but nope.
But here's the thing, though. We would all be respectful, let you say your piece, and hear you out to an extent. Until the bullshit hits. The thing is, you can't put together a 5-minute soliloquy without contradicting yourself at least twice. And we'll point it out.
Contradictions.
And that to you is an attack. If you just own the role that you've crafted, because remember, you are a master manipulator, social butterfly, master of your studio apartment. If you own the role that you've crafted for yourself online, not only would we hear you, but we would help you. The problem is you can't accept that.
Yes.
And you can't change on a dime, and you can't master manipulate everybody.
Mm-hmm.
He can't accept help. I mean, he got offered his crappy game. A professional editor reached out to him, would tell him he would, help him out for no charge. And then you made a bunch of videos about how that person was going to make videos attacking you and coming after you. And he had no idea who you were until you started.
Paranoia.
Yeah. What a masochist that editor is.
Bear.
I know.
Bear is a perfect example. Bear had no idea who you were. never watched any of your videos, never did anything to you. You started making videos about him, lying about him. Same thing with Sage, where Sage had no idea who you are. You made all these videos about how he was going on your account and unlocking your account and giving you multiple negatives. That's impossible. That can't be done. He and I talked for like an hour, had no idea who you were. And then when he stood up to you, you backed off. You walked away. You never talked about him again.
Damn. Edgelord for 2. In Condor's defense, you do have a silky smooth voice, Double D.
Yeah,
That's right.
Double D
I know.
has a
I know.
great
OG
video.
OGGM fell in love with that voice long ago. I remember him commenting on it.
Yeah, you have a great radio voice. As somebody who used to do this.
Thank you very much.
I mean, you're
Careful
always,
now.
you know.
I am bisexual, and I need some fuel to fall asleep through.
Yeah, Steven, you don't understand, like the shit, like the moment has passed. Like this was, I'm putting the link in there. This is your moment to get us. You know, this isn't a peace offering. This is, I'm handing you a gun, so to speak, to go to war. So you can say what you want.
Videos where you just say the same thing over and over again. Oh, that OG GM, he's a fucking cunt nerd. He's a fucking cunt nerd. I put him in his place. Dude, if I wanted to put you in the place, you would be a smoking crater of the shit I know about you.
Yep. He does his research on you, Stephen, even more so than
I did as somebody else did.
But always keep in mind, Stephen, it all goes back to that Ginny D video I did. I had no idea who you were.
Yeah, you came after me.
Yep. And like all of a sudden I probably was OGGM. He's like, hey, you know, welcome to the club. And I'm like, well, what club? Oh yeah, Condor made a video on you. I'm like, what's a Condor? And you know, sure enough, I'm like, oh, what is this guy? You know, and then you sure enough, you did it one more time before I was like, all right, I'll take the bait. And I've been taking the bait ever since, but it's been glorious. The problem is, Condor, people, for lack of a better word, they will actually pay me to make fun of you. They enjoy that content so much, they will throw super chats in here and laugh about it and laugh about you. I don't know what you get out of it. I honestly don't know what you get out of this because you don't make any money. I know you're not making any ad money. Don't even try to go there. I know the rate for 15 views on YouTube. It's like a fraction of a quark of a penny. I don't know why or you do what you do. And here he is. Okay, I'm really out, kids. Take care. Enjoy the therapy session.
Should somebody start a stopwatch between how long from now and he put the thing up about us?
Yes.
I've got a she-mail and a moose head. I'm ready to go.
Hey, Ryan, can you text me the link to that video you were talking about where he goes on that drug-induced fantasy?
If I can put it in here, I'll get it. Now, I don't know if he did his Vulture dirty delete to it, but I downloaded it before I've learned my lesson.
Okay.
At the least, I can pop it in. Give me a second.
Yeah, the then. Wait, was that the real? That was the real Condor DM. That was him. It was him.
Yeah, it really is a shame, you know, because if he did more of these things, then he'd be much more comfortable at doing it, and he'd be you know, it's like you know, Pavlov's dog. You have to go in there and, you know, get past your uncomfortable level until you're, you know, ready to just take it, just go right through it and laugh along with it sometimes, you know, and you know, if you're genuinely upset about something, then after the fact you talk about it and say, hey, you know what, that crossed the line, you know, and we're all adults here, and it's not like, you know, anyone's looking to bully. It's just, you know, when
this is
back, no matter what.
It's earned behavior for sure.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, there is a way to deal with it, and I do see the video down there. I'll put it up in a moment. Right. There is a way to deal with it in that you can go one of two ways. You can own it and kind of be self-deprecating and be like, yeah, what was I doing here? You know, I'm not going to be anybody's lol cow. And then you change your behavior, or you really lean into it and you go, you
run with it. And
yeah.
have a good time with it too. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me,
now it's not as good as the music version of it.
No, the music version is genius.
but the music version is word
no
for
matter
word.
how many hits I take. Fuck peace. I want violence. I want issues. Fuck peace.
Yep, he's turking.
That can be my mood. My mood sometimes. Fuck peace.
Wow. Holy shit. Yeah, this is like, it's not like Joker level, you know, but this is...
Dude, whatever, if you're smoking weed, get a better brand, dude.
It's supposed to mellow you out.
Whatever you're taking is just not doing the job. I can recommend some.
Looney only buys you so much.
Easier.
It's legal
Maybe
in
not
Canada.
be an asshole. Not be a prick. Am I a prick? Am I an asshole?
Yes.
Am I an asshole towards certain people on here, but I'll say they're pricks towards me? Well, they're still pricks, but yeah, I'm an asshole. Yeah, I am. Yeah, there is no doubt about it. I am an asshole.
Wow.
I don't know if you'd want to be my friend. I don't know. I'm an asshole.
It gets better.
There's no doubt. Like,
and disturbingly
just
better.
hanging out with me, I'm an asshole. No, I can be nice, but I'm an asshole.
Wow.
Because I think that way. I said, didn't I? Jesus Christ. What am I thinking? Okay. Am I good at the game thing? I am, because I'm crazy, right? So, people enjoy it. I'm fair. I'm not mean. I don't play favorites in a game. But outside of that, I'm a prick.
This is like, there's like, you know, all those, like, all the films of Hitler's speeches. There's only one video where you hear Hitler's voice, like his normal talking voice. And you can find it on YouTube. And I'm not, by the way, I'm not comparing Steven to Hitler. Don't get that wrong. But it's just kind of weird because he has such a performative voice. And like you'll hear this video that Hitler did. I think it was up in Finland. He was in a rail car, and his official documentarian, when he was supposed to turn the camera off, he kept it on. Or no, he kept the audio on. So you get to hear Hitler's voice. And it's like completely different than, the kind of, ranting, raving, the fire up speeches he did. It's just him being conversational. It's kind of how I view this. This is crazy.
Bad Scribe, we already did. I'll send you a link.
If I were giving advice to people, I'd be like, no, don't be my friend. You don't want to be my friend. Well, it's like, look, I'll be loyal. I'll care. I'm fun. I won't, I'm very work with you in games, and I'm good on that level. But
here he goes.
I think like a prick. And sometimes I'll get on here and I just I can't forgive. People will say some shit about me. I'm like, okay, dude. I'll find myself not even like past it, and they're already saying something new, and I'm like, okay, fuck you. And then I just don't know really how to get out of that zone once I'm there. And then I start committing to things like, yeah, fuck them. I won't talk to them ever.
I love how he chuckles like this. I cut him off forever.
cut him off because it's such a punishment. Please, please cut us off. Stop making videos about us.
Yes. I don't know how this escaped my purview. It just goes to show, like, I'm not consumed. He thinks I'm consumed with him. I'm more of a reactionary, like, oh, this is hot for a while. And then when it goes cold, like, I tend not to pay any attention to any of this. So how this escaped, Ryan, is beyond me. Thank you so much for documenting this. This is crazy.
I couldn't let this one go because it's the one time I think he has been honest in years.
As honest as he can be.
Yeah. It's like what he should do is he should make a therapy appointment and be like, oh, but hold on, I'm going to send you something. And then send him that video and just say, before we start, this is what you need to know about me.
Myself, because I say I won't do second chances, and trust me, I'm a human. I'm tempted. Always tempted. Always tempted to make peace, open the door, talk to people. And then I say fuck it because I'm an asshole. I'm cool beyond that. I don't know. It's,
other than that, I'm fine. Other than that, how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln?
That's me. Yeah. So it's not really challenging to be my friend. Only I don't know. I have an ego. I can be very competitive in games.
It's okay.
I can do a lot of shit talking if we're competing. But if we're working together, I'm a great teammate. But
no, you're not.
I'm an asshole to play against. Yeah. Am I an asshole on here often? Every day. Every single day. I get mad. And then I say asshole things to people.
Oh my God.
Do I taunt people? Yeah, of course I do. It's like a...
Like, did somebody give him like some scopolamine or something? Like, just against his will? Like they have put a microphone in front of his mouth and...
Repeat his drink?
I went to a reconciliation dinner with my wife and she slipped something into my meal.
Yeah. She doesn't even know he's being recorded.
I don't think sometimes they know that I got the string and I'm pulling it. I'm just like, yeah, I'll put out this and I know I'm going to get my reaction. Thank you. And then I do every time, just about. Which is amazing. I've been doing it for years. I just poke. I poke at the right time. I'm calculated. I'm such a prick because it's like I use the truth and I'm sort of like I'm in the good guy role. Like, hey, I'm in the right here. Because they're being pricks. It's a weird dilemma with some of the people on here that I deal with because they're big assholes, but it opens the door for me because I'm like, okay, you can be an asshole, so can I, and you wouldn't even probably know I'm doing it, or if you figure it out, good luck. Or even worse, I get attacked for something I didn't do, though they're not attacking me for the things I did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Name one thing that we didn't take just right out of your own mouth. Always.
That they don't even know about, which is amazing because I'm a prick. When I say I don't know, they don't know, but it's not like some secret thing. Just I poked, and they fucking reacted. And I got my way. I taunted
You got the
them
negative attention
like
if that's what you were looking for. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like Bill Murray's groundskeeper character in Caddyshack. I have to laugh. My enemy is a gopher.
Joker. I mean, even there, you can hear the hubris. I mean, I wonder if it is just a desperate need for negative attention because somehow he was convinced that is the only attention he's ever going to get. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody
told him that.
Somebody in his youth ran him through as the Cole's parents. Who knows?
Yep.
This isn't. Somebody molded this guy, and that's sad.
This has all the hallmarks of a domineering mother, in my opinion. Like somebody who's always telling him, like, you ain't, what's the matter with you? You're never going to be anything, Steven.
Yeah.
So that's a shame, man.
Being his number one fan, and reading between the lines of no. I got this.
Okay, we got this.
He's expressed some things that are truly sad. It's times where my wife and I are religious Condor watchers because of the entertainment factor. And it's not the entertainment factor that he thinks. It's sort of the train wreck entertainment factor. But he's talked about, he's estranged from all of his living family. He separated himself from his mother for years, and then she passed during COVID, and he could never reconcile with her. There's some real Hallmark movie shit here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the only reactions I think that he's gotten his entire life have been poor reactions. So it's the only thing that triggers that dopamine for him.
Yeah.
Just, you know,
You're
I'm
paying
not a
attention to me.
therapist,
You're
but I
paying
play
attention
one
to
on
me.
the internet. So
Yeah, and we've been told, people have said don't pay attention to him, and we try. I mean, I tried.
Yeah, I wanted to point out, there was a time when whether it was this channel or the previous one, where he was gone for a couple of months, and then he started up, maybe it was this channel. He started up this channel, and
it was after the divorce.
For about 3 weeks, nobody knew that he was even back.
Yeah.
And then he started attacking the OSR. And boom, I was like, hey, Condor's back. All right. So for 3 weeks, he was making, content of some kind.
He was doing his political Trump stuff, yeah.
No one was paying attention to it. No one, it wasn't out there. And then the attack started coming on the OSR because he knew that was going to bring some attention. Hey, I'm back now. And it really was like, so when he said, oh, you guys never stopped talking about me, we didn't know you were back. So we hadn't been talking about you at all for 4 months.
A year.
I didn't know you were back for 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden you needed that attention. Now this was a couple years ago. About, I don't know how long his current channel has been up.
Well, he took a leave after he got divorced. I think he was going through all that, and then when he came back, he's like, "Guess what? I ain't doing any more gaming content. It's all going to be life advice. I'm going to be your Condor DM life coach." And that went about as good as you'd expect it to go.
He was at 998 on January 1st last year, and then
I concede, OG. You're the number one fan.
I am the number one fan. Well, Rob Necronomicon is really his number one fan because he's the one who sends me the links.
Yeah, Rob's done the yeoman's work for me too. Edgelord King for $2. This is like the Uncle Rico podcast. Yeah, do it weekly. Thank you very much.
Your life advice politics videos got you to $1,000, dude. And then like the very next day, you did I don't know if that was which one you did, but you did something and you shot down back to 975.
Yeah, he can't help but get in his own way. And yeah, by the way, I'm fully embracing this now. I'm like the time for peace. There is a season turn. That season is gone.
Yeah.
Like it is now. It's now hunting season. It's Wabbit season. It's Condor season, and that's why I have christened this whole thing the Vultureverse, and it is a huge umbrella. Everybody, all are welcome. Let's just keep at it because this could be a thing. Like I said, this guy is just as weird as Stuttering John, like the whole Dabbleverse, and that's what Edgelord is referring there. For those of you that don't know, like Uncle Rico is a big player in the Dabbleverse. Stuttering John from the Howard Stern show, as everybody knows, he's like an old guy who kind of bounced around, had some jobs, but is a lolcow supreme. But he has nothing on Condor. Like
we had a classic gaming whack pack. Condor is the leader.
Oh, yeah. By miles. All right, I got to listen to more of this. This is just insane.
They should have known that video was just to piss them off. Some of the bigger YouTubers, I'm surprised that I catch them so easily. And they don't know how much of a prick I am. So when I say
we know.
When they say things about me, it doesn't bother
we know
me in the way they think. It's like if you guys knew I'm an asshole. I don't care. I just don't care. I really don't care about a lot of things. I find it more fun to have the tango. It's like when I hear shit talk about me, it's like, okay, is it good stuff? Do I get something to go with? And then I'll let it ride sometimes. I'll be like, okay, let them. That's one stream. I'll ignore that one on purpose.
Yeah,
But then I'll let it ride sometimes. Like, I'll be like, okay, let them. That's one stream. I'll ignore that one on purpose. But then I'll let it ride sometimes. Like, okay, let them. That's one stream. I'll ignore that one on purpose. And then there'll be another stream or another video or some shit. And I'll be like, okay, I'll tag the person, and I'll manipulate like I always do, which is just repeat something over and over again till.
Yeah, the premeditation, it's like right there. And that all, by the way, that is all fine, Stephen. I'm actually good with that until you do a stream where you go, I'm being attacked by all these big YouTubers. Oh my God, they're picking on little old Condor here. What a little bitch! What a little bitch you are.
Easiest game in the world. Repeat. Or if you talk about something, try to find things that sound like you would just say them. Like, just look for natural ways to say it, and then just repeat. Like, I do that sometimes. I'll just keep repeating it if I know certain people are watching the content, like YouTubers. Then I'll hear my thing on their thing sooner or later. I just got to keep saying it. I just got to keep saying it. Sooner or later, they will mention my shit. I'm like, thank you. Good.
This video is when I determined that he's not mentally ill. He's just evil.
Yeah. There's premeditation all over this. Yeah. No, that's not to say he doesn't need therapy. I mean, he does need therapy, but he's still going to tilt this direction. He's going to, I guess, break bad, as it were.
No, you could just do that with people. You got to know who's watching you. It's easy to tell too, because they'll start saying details about, like, showing pictures of like you on your stream or something. I'm like, good, okay, thank you for letting me know that.
It is.
Like, you should never let me know. I warn people, you should never let me know you're watching. Don't give it away. Don't say something I know that you would have only known if you heard my stream. Oh, he says this. I did in the video, so you're watching, eh? Oh, well, that's not good for you. Don't let me know you're watching. Don't ever let me know you're watching.
Just ignore it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think this is
a guy like you doesn't need to do this. What do you care what people are saying about you?
Right. Yeah, an alpha Chad like Condor. Yeah, why so? See, he's trying to go for the whole Joker thing here. Yeah. I hate it when people do that. You're not the clown prince of cry. Just shut up. You're a fat YouTuber.
Start manipulating you. I will. As soon as I know it's like you're a player in my game. As soon as I know I get the audience, it's like, oh, I got you listening in. Hey, good. All right. Thanks.
He did a stream I was listening to last night, late night after, our game was well done. He was relishing. He was imagining this scenario where there was a troublesome player at his table. See if you can wrap your mind around this. And he didn't care if it was even at another player's house. Okay. Like, he wasn't hosting. If there was a troublesome player there and somebody from the gaming group said, hey, you got to go. And that would presumably maybe be the person whose house you're at. If that person asked a troublesome player to leave, Condor says he would go ballistic and say, no, I am the DM. I get to determine who's in this group and who goes. So, like, you could have a player in the group, like, I don't know, like playing footsie or hitting on your wife, and you keep telling him, knock it off. And then he just, like, grabs her by the coochie or whatever. And if you're the host, you say, all right, dude, you got to get the fuck out of here. I'm going to knock you out. Condor, he was very clear about this too. Oh, he can go, but guess what? You're going too. And if it's your house, I guess we'll just meet at my house later. It's these weird scenarios he always dreams up in his mind. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, this would never occur to me. I would never, ever, ever think of something like this. But these like gerbils or rats or mice in his brain are working on this kind of stuff 24/7.
It's bats. Bats are flying around.
It always comes down to bats.
Want to know how I got these scars?
I think it's imaginary games. Like, it did not occur. That's not anything that ever happened. You know, it's imaginary scenarios.
But Rich, it's a flex on his power. Like, he dreams of these situations. Who's going to challenge my power? Oh, I know how I could prove I'm a tough guy. I'll dream of a scenario where, that happens. And then I step in and go, oh no, buddy, this is my gaming group. I'm the dungeon master. It's almost it's like one of those Jack Chick tracks or something, you know, where he's like, I determine.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's the only power he has.
Soften
Double
up
D.
some people. There's some hard acting people on here that they're not that hard at all. They're teddy bears. So I get on. I'm
Yep.
like, okay.
Definitely bats in the
You want
attic.
to bully me, do you? You want to try? I'll show you how to bully somebody. And I'm just so calculated in my attack videos when I'm attacking back that it's aggressively mean. Just so mean.
Same thing over and over again. That's not aggressively mean. That's just dumb.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Spending a half an hour calling people a dumb high school four-letter words is not an attack. It's not a debate. It's not putting anybody in their place.
Yes.
And it's hard to tag me on it, so they'll just be very pissed off, and I know they are, and I'm manipulating. I'm making it hard to say I'm in the wrong, and then just pissing people off. Like even the miniatures stream and video, completely to piss people off. I wouldn't even lie.
See you, Chris.
Just to piss them off. That's all that was. Nothing more. I mean, it is the truth, but it's using the truth just to piss people off. Like the intent from me is like, fuck you.
Super chat here from my buddy Hastermind, $2 Double D. Where did this crazy monologue come from? Apparently it is a video. I'm not sure if it's still up yet, but Ryan was smart enough to download it. So do we know what it was called so we can look for it, Ryan?
You know, I don't, but I'll do some digging and see if it's up. I'm sure if he's still watching, which we know he is. Hey, Steve.
Yeah. One of his live streams?
No, it was just a cold video that was a middle of the night drug-induced rant. So I'm going to look right now and see if it's still up.
And don't worry about it. I mean, yeah, I can give that information later. I can even send it directly to Hastermind. It is crazy that this totally escaped me.
So I'm doing this all in one take. I'm not doing any cuts, so you're probably going to hear me do something right now.
Yeah.
You're going to hear me smoke up.
There's going to be no editing in this video, unlike his other videos, which I mean, just the most lazy. Oh, God.
I'm going to hear it burning. Okay. You heard. Okay.
It's legal in Canada.
This
Nobody
is just
cares.
me being as open with you as I can be, which is what my YouTube channel, I guess, is supposed to be about, is me telling you the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And
so help you God.
People tell you
Yeah,
this
God.
about themselves.
Pass that shit over here.
Yeah,
I'm not
please.
Puff, puff, pass.
I'm not like saying, oh, hear me, or I'm not trying to pretend I'm hardcore or something. I'm just telling you the honest truth about who I am. I'm a prick. I'm a bit evil. I would even use that word, evil. Somewhat.
You call it nose on, Ryan David. Nose on. This goes beyond like, oh, this is just a rare, moment of honesty. This is a confession. Like, it sort of is like the end of like Breaking Bad. And I know he'll be like, oh yeah, I got compared to somebody as cool as Walter White, but it is like at the end when, Breaking Bad, when he's like, yeah, you know what? I'd do it all over again if I had the choice. I'm just a fucking prick. I'm evil.
This is where it gets scary though.
Oh boy. You mean we haven't plumbed the depths yet?
No.
Oh my God. Okay. Now you got me frightened. Yeah. I hope you guys in the chat are understanding the rare treat this is.
Not in ways that would bother you. Well, that depends. And I wouldn't even tell you all that stuff, so which will leave you even going like, what the fuck? There's some stuff I can't say. Some stuff. Yeah. Am I fucked up? Oh yeah, definitely. Jesus Christ, I'm fucked up. I'm a hustling guy. I'm gonna have money. I'm gonna be healthy. All that stuff I've been telling you is all true, but just the stuff I don't tell you. I'm fucking crazy. I'm fucking crazy. I'll tell you some truth. I smoke weed.
We know.
Yeah.
We know.
I don't do any like other drugs. I don't drink.
Maybe you should.
I don't drink liquor. don't drink at all. I drink
Boom, the then.
I get sugar high off of them before some streams sometimes. I'll down one. Let's fucking down it. It's like fucking 20 minutes before the stream. That's why I'm like starting 5 minutes early. Like I'm like on those nights. I'm just like ready to go. Yeah.
Good to see you,
I'm a
Bleeker.
social butterfly though, so my fucking prickishness and all that can fuck me over sometimes. Yeah. People gotta. It depends on the relationship I have with them. I guess. I don't know if you heard that. Sorry, but yeah, I'm fucked up, but I'm good to socialize with. I'm a weird person. I'm weird. I'm fun. I'm a lot of fun. Personality wise, I'm hyped, but.
Press X to doubt on that one. Something tells me the fun ain't gonna last too long when you're in the same room with Condor.
Yeah, jeez. I can go down to earth. I can be calm. I can do all that stuff, but realistically, like that's professional. When I go into gaming and dealing with nerds, it's just me being a game master. So I look at it like a job. And that's how I control myself. But in reality, I'm a prick. But I wouldn't even be a prick when I run the game. I'm not like that, but I'm very devious in all my thinking. My thinking's just twisted. My thinking is so fucked up. I have, like, my imagination works too well. Too well.
Oh boy. No.
Are you gonna watch when you tell me?
I feel like Nicolas Cage in that movie where he was like, like watching the snuff film, when he's like in the theater, like, oh, that's how I'm starting to get now. I almost don't want to hear what's coming.
Something about like
surprise, this video is no longer on his channel. So,
all right, well, you make sure you duplicate this.
I'll put it in a share link and we'll get it out. And I put the music version just for shits and giggles in the private chat for you.
Thank you.
My imagination starts going all over the place. Now I can make a lot of people laugh. That's socially, it's really good interacting with people like that because they'll tell me stuff in my mind. This is, I'm good at being funny. I'm good at being a funny prick. When I'm on a funny prick mode, it's good. People like that, I think, most of the time. But yeah, it makes it hard to have friends and all that. You get used to people though. It all grows and adjusts. Like it's just those first steps in getting through crookedness with some people. I have a hard time sometimes. Now out in the wild, like in person here, I'm way better.
See, there he goes.
When I work with people, I just open up.
I'm this.
Yep.
No, you're not. I don't believe that.
Yep.
I just don't care.
Yep.
But again, I'm out working. It's always like I'm out in robot mode. I call it robot mode because I can just put myself completely in check when I go to work and stuff.
You don't have a job, dude.
That's just so I can function in life because I'm a prick. How would a prick function in life? How would an egotistic asshole like me function in life? You can't make everyone hate you. You learn. You just learn. No matter how egotistic you are, it just doesn't work. People won't do you favors if they hate you. So you just gotta artificially learn to play nice guy. Be nice.
Yeah, that sounds like a sociopath.
That is that's textbook sociopathy right there. Like I have to mimic human emotions
because I don't know what it is
to get along. Yeah, because I can't. I don't understand. Boy, what you were saying about his mother. That's it. Are we all agreed that this had to have come from mom? I mean, this almost had to, especially if he was estranged. I mean, we should just be thankful he didn't turn into like an Edmund Kemper and the serial killer who had a similar, what I'm guessing was a similar mom who just told him he was never any good and he ended up butchering
Sometimes
her.
it's genuine. I can care. I can deeply care. But it's like I'm chaotic neutral, I guess. It's like I can love the shit out of you one moment and just.
Well, that may be very accurate. He is definitely chaotic neutral.
Yeah, I was going to say, but that's in real life. That's nothing. Let me tell you this. It's annoying enough to have a character at the table who's chaotic neutral. Now we want people in real life who are chaotic neutral? No.
If you're somebody who's like, I'm a nice person, I surround myself with nice people, I'd be like, oh, don't include me in your circle. Because I'm not nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Done and done.
Nice. Oh, people knew how I thought. I'm not nice. I'm not a nice guy. Yeah, it's just I'm
wow.
I mean, the people that think they're better than me too. I'm brutal. I'm just because I manipulate. It's like, oh, you think you're a Chad? All right, go listen to my videos where I shit on Chads. It's so effective.
Except you don't, dude.
I know.
You think you, dude.
Yeah.
I hate you all. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
I love you. Just
fuck off.
Just insults and repeating the same thing over and over again and comparing us to Scott is Double D is not putting us in our place.
No. That's what I hate too. This recent, like, I'm going to be Scott Garabay's White Knight. You know, to paraphrase Larry Holmes, you ain't fit to carry Scott Garabay's jockstrap.
Yeah.
You couldn't. Scott is a completely different case and scenario. We do not hate Scott at all.
And as much as I've bagged on him in the past, he's shown growth. He's shown change.
Yeah. I've had private conversations with Scott Garibay. He was going to do the show until he found out we were on Rumble. And then
I remember that. Yeah, he got all crazy.
But no, I respect and like Scott on some level because he owns his quirks.
He owns his insanity.
And he's never said, I mean, he blocked me on X, but he doesn't feel the need to just make video after video because basically we're just picking apart what he's saying in his videos, you know. Occasionally we'll, you know, like, why does he keep rubbing his nose like that? But other than that, it's not really personal with Scott. He's just this crazy character.
Yeah.
And I hope nothing but growth for him. I'd love to see him, you know, keep growing and have more people watch his stuff. This evil motherfucker, though. All right, we're in the last quarter here. Let's see if we can squeeze it in.
Pissed off if they heard that.
If you got a dip, Ryan, I understand.
I know, because I'm manipulating.
Yeah, I'm going to run in about 15, just so we have Dungeon Delver. So I'll plug.
Oh, okay,
before I
cool.
go.
Guys, yeah, make sure you go over to Rumble. Watch the Speakeasy, Saturday Speakeasy with Ryan. And we should finish this. There's only 5 minutes left. So
great to see you, Ryan.
Yep.
That word manipulating. Well, I've done this weird thing, gaming, tabletop role-playing games, where I play the role of the person who runs the game, and that means you control all the information, you manipulate people, and I've done it so often for so many years that
wow,
you learn gimmicks when you repeatedly do something. Like, I'm constantly learning how people think from one person.
D&D is a training ground for the budding sociopath. I learned how to manipulate people by playing this game. Oh my God.
Nobody ship him 50 gallons of muriatic acid.
Yes, yeah, please. Yeah.
He did learn something from Scott. You know, D&D has become his life coach for depravity and just.
But it's like one is like the light side, you know, the light side of the coin. This is like the darkest of the dark.
That's where I'm like,
oh my God.
If you don't have that information, wow, what an amazing amount of stuff you just assumed. But if I give you this piece and this piece, or if I repeat statements to you throughout a game, oh wow, how you picked that up. And I do that over and over again until I just learn over time what I'm doing with it, like how it affects people. And then I can apply that to the world. And I sometimes think
you're a
it works.
sociopath. Do they have mandatory watches and
yeah.
we do here?
Yeah, that's what Bleecker says. Yeah, people with real issues like this, they don't tell everybody they have these issues. That's why he is unique as far as these. I guess keep in mind he is under the influence here. So, like I said, it almost is like somebody hopped him up with scopolamine or some sort of truth serum, and he's just stream of consciousness. These are the rats in my head.
I repeat things, and I just hear people saying things where I'm like, is that from me? Because I haven't heard somebody else say that stuff, so it really feels like it might be for me, but I don't know. I just don't know.
He's wearing a great
Sometimes
shirt.
I really
Got
am
it from
confident
me.
it is. I'm so confident it'll piss people off. I'll come on, they're like, yo, you think that's from me? Well, I actually do. I was manipulating, so that was my game. I was doing it on purpose. Like
I'll be right down.
There was a game theory that used the word immersion to describe what we were doing here, but it was thrown out with the bathwater, if you get what I'm saying. This game theory thing was thrown out and just ridiculed, and with it went the word immersion. I really liked it, and I didn't hear people using the word immersion everywhere all the time. Might have been one or two people. I never heard it. I looked. I purposely looked before I started talking about it. And I thought, wow, I'm going to introduce this. It was really a game plan. It was.
Joel Peterson for 5 real quick. For the people who feel bad for Condor, how you feeling now? This is who he is, and this isn't the first time.
Women.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
Feel bad for him.
Yep. Thank you so much, Joel. Yeah, and absolutely.
I just never heard anybody say it. Just outside of the game theory, that's where I heard it the first time. So I won't lie, I didn't come up with it. I just sort of heard the word used, but it wasn't used to describe what I was going to describe with it. I kept saying, it's like watching that movie where somebody has to say your name from behind like a couple times or poke you, because even though you can hear them, you can't hear them. You're zoned into the movie. I said, to me, that's sort of like immersion into a tabletop role-playing game. Like, not full immersion like in water, but like immerse so much somebody has to tap you on the shoulder because you're so focused on what you're doing. And I said that was immersion. Then I went on to do 40 videos repeating
40
the same statements.
40. Well, he has that in common with Scott. They both will do 40 videos on the same topic.
Yeah. But here's the sad truth that was revealed. Gaming is his security blanket for life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a wife. Yeah. It's not kids. It's not spending time with families or aunts or nieces. It's gaming with strangers at a table for one night until they're done with him.
And it's one that he said is built. It's built on a foundation of manipulation. It's not like the joy of, let's have this shared experience. Let's tip a few beers back after. Let's make lifelong friends through this. It's how can I manipulate you and stroke my own ego in the process. It's
over and
so
over
mad
and over again about immersion. I just kept doing videos.
I know, yeah.
Over 40 videos.
It's hard to be mad at him. He just wanted to get help and go away.
Yeah, that's the way I felt before I fired this stream up. After hearing this, now I'm pretty angry. This is a bad guy. Like I used to have a modicum of maybe I should ease up, go easy. No, not anymore. Nope.
The lines of immersion.
This is evil.
It took a few months, but then
you could pump me full of any drug in the world, and I wouldn't say anything approaching this because none of this stuff is in me. I don't think it's in anybody here or anybody in the chat. This is like unique. This is like literally 1 in 5 million people, 1 in 5 million people are, like this. And they could either be a serial killer or, maybe they just, torture puppies or something.
Finally, for the first time, hearing people use immersion. Don't know if it was me. That was my aim, though. And I really did not hear people using it outside of game theory before I did my 40-some videos. There you go. That's a claim. Maybe I'm ego. See, that's the ego. I'm an asshole. I'm an egotistic prick to claim I pushed immersion.
I lie.
Oh, man. I must be delusional, right?
I invented immersion. I invented the D100 system.
Probably completely.
You name it.
I invented bats.
That was all true. I really did do it with the intent to push the word and get people using it. I don't know. Though I'm good at the game mastering shit. I'm really good at it. But I'm a prick, so I don't know if you want to talk to me to even game with me. I put it a thing. I'm gonna offer the game with a lot of people this year. Sure. It's a game. But I'm a prick. So probably not a good friend. I'm never a good friend. I'm an asshole. I'm just mean to people.
I'm mean to people. I'm not a good friend. I mean, from his own mouth.
He's a prick and an asshole with sway. Don't forget the sway.
Charisma and sway. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He's more sway than me.
I've got mad riz. I got mad aura about me. No one of consequence for $5 back from Pundits Premiere. What did I miss? You're just gonna have to rewatch, my friend. We're almost done with this. In fact, we're almost done with the stream. We got less than a minute here. We'll clean this up, have final thoughts, and then I'll say goodbye.
It's who I am. It's who I am.
Clearly.
Yeah. Probably a lot of criticism out there is probably somewhat correct, even if it's not all exactly based on truth. Sometimes people are closer to right than they realize, but they're not always.
No, we're smart. We know when we're right, Condor.
They're not always right. But you want to know what? They're all hiding. They're all not telling you the truth about who they are. But I'll tell you the truth about who I am. An asshole, evil, not a nice guy. Yeah. Sometimes I care.
I like how he throws that in there. Oh, sometimes I care.
Wow.
Okay, I don't know. If you get to the end of this video, I entertained you for like 20 minutes with my voice. Yay. I'm just gonna fucking use the image I used earlier. I just don't care. Okay, alright.
Yeah, I got what I want.
That is one hell of a video.
Don't deny it.
Ryan, I don't know whether to thank you or castigate you, sir.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I watch them for content for songs because I'm going to put out a Condor LP here. We have enough that I can do it and drop it on Spotify, and everything in them. Like, I don't have to change the words. I just have to run. The most I've ever done is flip a line here and there for rhyming and like music reasons. But this video, I ran straight through word for word, and this was the turning point for me when I realized that it's not a gimmick. You know, it's not the I hate Ryan David. It's not any of this bluster. This is who this person is, and it's not.
How old is this video? How old is the video?
Less than 6 weeks. I can tell you when I originally
6
posted
weeks.
It. Yes.
Yeah.
This was right before he started his redemption arc.
Oh my God.
I released it on my X, and I never did it on a stream or anything. But
I was hoping you'd say, "Oh yeah, this was 2 years ago," you know, and I'm like, "Well, okay." Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is concerning now. Like OGGM said, we may need to call social services in Halifax or something.
Look at Shirley's quote there, Double D. We went down the Condor hole.
Yeah, you guys are done.
It's like episode 7. I need to take a bath in gasoline now. Thanks.
February 6th. Double D. It was February 6th.
February 6th.
Yeah.
Not even 2 months ago. Oh my God. Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Like I said, the Vultureverse is it is now born. Like there's no going back. There's no like, oh, you know, we can still be friends with this guy. It's like
Never friends.
Nope. It's like you are now eternal content until and when you just leave the internet. Because after hearing that, holy shit. Yeah. You couldn't have paid me to say that. I'm not even sure I would have done it at gunpoint.
It's like you certainly can't trust his motives about anything now. You know, it's like it's just unbelievable.
No, yeah, there's no way I could ever sit down with this guy again after hearing that.
No, his motive is pay attention to me.
Yep, I'm evil. Pay attention to me.
I will pick a fight with a total stranger.
Yep. Well said. All right, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you all for jumping on. Thank you, Ryan, for providing that. Thanks, Rich, OGGM, Ryan. Yep.
OGM, Mike, reach out. Either my Discord or whatever, or just other things, so we can reconnect.
All right.
There you go. All right, guys. Thank you. Yep.
sandwiches.
All right, Ryan. Yeah, we'll catch up soon. Yeah, cool. All right, thank you very
Take
very
care,
much.
Double D.
Yep. Wow. Okay, there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I gotta say, that's when I just kind of threw that out there, the Vultureverse. That's sort of what I had in mind, because I know Ryan and OGGM are aficionados, and I was glad it was like, not that I was purposely chumming the waters, but I was so glad they were sort of just drawn to it, because this guy is he's worth it, and he is one of the most worthwhile targets now for ridicule that you'd ever want to find. Thank you so much, James. I'm gonna give you something. Ooh.
Are you happy?
Are you happy? Little Jack and the Beanstalk for you. Okay. Well, guys, I got to go. I got a splitting headache. I think Steven actually gave me a headache. There's your victory over me this Saturday, Steven. I now have a splitting headache thanks to you. So, all right, guys. Make sure I didn't miss anything here. Got all the chats. Yep, I believe I did. So, okay. I hope you enjoyed it. More to come. I don't want to do like every Wednesday stream on this, because that could get a little repetitive. But these Saturday streams, it might work out. It might work out. So Saturday, the occasional Saturday, could be a good Vultureverse day. All right. You guys take care. Love you all. And if I did put a new video out about the whole Luke Gygax situation, if you haven't watched that, give it a watch. I thought it was a pretty good video. Put a like on it and hype it. Do whatever you have to do to help your nigga out here. All right. Love you all. See you Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe.